Welcome, everybody. We are in week 6 of the Inkosi Super Cup. Tonight is going to be an absolute interesting one as we have quite a few teams coming back, trying to get their points on the leaderboard. And of course, joining me tonight is Shaz. How are you doing? You ready for this?
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a close one. We've got two teams here that are pretty fairly matched, I think, and yeah, it's going to be exciting, especially on a map like Inferno. It's quite an equal map as well, so it should be a fun game to watch.
Absolutely. And we've got a lot of CS for you guys tonight. So for those of you who are new to Inkosi, let's take you a little bit through the schedule we have running tonight, what we're going to be expecting. That
Yep.
map choice makes a big difference.
Yeah, and anything can happen in a BL1, There's been upsets around the world, so yeah, BL1 is kind of, it's random. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen. And ultimately, I mean, looking at some of the players here from X-Ashes, I mean, we've seen Volfer going absolutely mad. We've seen Sabery, Sergeant Ross, Zinix, Hopper, all of them as individuals, they've absolutely gone crazy. I think especially out of the 5, Volfer for me has been some crazy shots coming from that man. So he's going to be the
Yeah.
player that I'm going to be watching. But as you mentioned, the map going to be the big determining factor. So let's take a look at the Vita. Let's see things. I mean, taking wins away from teams and players that were ultimately looking to win it, they take it away, they take the win instead. So I think they're definitely going to be a contender at the moment. We're going to have to look at the leaderboard to exactly see where they stand and who is maybe the next competitor and who's close to those 2 top spots that are ultimately going to be going into the Mzansi relegation promotion match. So here we go. We've got X-Ashes and Royalty sitting in those top 2 spots. So at the moment, they are the 2 that we're going to be waiting to see if they go into that promotion match. And I mean, we're looking at Clutch Kings. I don't really see them on the leaderboard right now. So we're in week 6. We've got this week, the next, and then another week 8, which are the last 3 chances for teams to get points. So, I mean, it's possible. Ultimately, I think you look at like at least one night of this equals 6 points on the leaderboard. So it's definitely not impossible, but you need to get the teams coming back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is your shot to play for the big boy, prize pool. So why not? I mean, it's a weekly cup, and if you have the time, I think every team should be signing up.
A weekly cup that you can potentially win, from the combined prize pool of 1,500 a week. So second place takes home 500, first place takes home 1,000. I mean, that's
the bonus.
That's a little bonus on the side, and ultimately you're playing for those points to get into the big boy leagues, as we mentioned. Mzansi Esports, which got a combined prize pool of 1 million rand. So ultimately, I'm expecting more teams to come back and get those points on the leaderboard, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of a competition there. At the moment, I mean, X-Ashes is running away with it. But the points 24 at the top of the leaderboard, closest second is about 12. My goodness.
Exactly.
So they're running away for it. And in terms of, let's talk a little bit more about the match we're about to see. So X-Ashes versus Clutchings. And on Inferno as a BO1, from your side, what do you think is the most important going into this?
You know, like I've said many a games, you know, Inferno is all about taking that control as a CT. You don't want to give the Ts too much control of the map, and you kind of want to take that control as CTs, get that information so that you can rotate, you know, your players accordingly. Because Inferno is such a far distance map to rotate, you kind of want to stack the sites as the Ts are executing, so that you have the numbers, you know, on that bomb side as a CT.
Absolutely, and already, you know, Clutch Kings and X Ashes, they have to decide, you know, who's going to win this nice round, who's going to be going into that CT position and looking at, you know, potentially taking some aggressive stances there. How's the utility going to be used? You know, how are we going to hold this? I mean,
Oh, wow.
we're seeing quite often. Oh wow, okay. X Ashes just decided, no, you don't get the choice. It's ours.
Yeah.
So ultimately, now they get the choice of going CT, going T. For you, would you prefer a CT or a T side?
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends, right? Like I've said, you know, T side. If you do take the T side, it's because you kind of want to warm up. You know, T's more loose in a sense, you know, because you kind of work with your teammates. It doesn't rely on individual play. Where CT, if you're not feeling that warmed up individually, you know, you have to hold angles as a CT, and if your aim's not warm, then you know you kind of miss your shot sometimes. So if you want to play on the T side, you obviously, you know, you want to warm up, you want to get the comms, you want to get the synergy going, and T side's more, you know, forgiving in that sense. You know, you can kind of, you know, like fix your mistakes T side, where CT is very hard, you know, to stop momentum from a team happening to you. So yeah, it just depends, but lots of teams do favor that CT side because it's, you know, it's the stronger side.
So hopefully now for Clutch Kings being given a gift here from X Ashes starting off on the CT side, we'll see what they can do with it. Ultimately, X Ashes, you know, with those nades trying to connect something or other, but unfortunately nothing really finding a target at this stage. We've got 3 players with some armor, some utility getting ready and set. And now it looks like we're going to be seeing a bit of an AXQ starting off on this first round of the semi-final at the moment. Utility getting set up. They have to be careful. Clutch King Zin in particular trying to get a bit of early information. He's going to rotate that around, but he's getting swarmed at the moment. And ultimately, though, they take one down, they lose the side. Now Clutch Kings have to think about the retake. 4-on-3 is the situation we're looking at. X Astrus planting the bomb, getting the post plants. Balfour actually in that app position. That's a good. Ooh, that's a good one tap there from Blind, rather. So that puts it down to a 3v3. This is doable at this stage. He got some good positioning. Just need to find the kills.
No util.
Yeah, no utility. And the positioning here from X Ashes at this stage, you can see it's just working out for them. They've got the crossfires, they've got the positioning.
Yeah, that's just
the first round.
Yeah, that's just going to be so hard as CTs, you know, to try and retake that A bomb site with no util as a CT is very, very hard. And you know, X Astros, you can just see, you know, they've been putting in the grind. Their post setup, you know, plant setups were just great there. They didn't give anything away to Clutch Kings, and they didn't give them any advantage. Played very disciplined and very smart.
So, I mean, Sergeant Ross finishing off with that 3k, he's going to be quite happy about that. So, some good money in the bank, as you see the force up here from X Ashes. Got some Mac 10, some Galils, and a lot of nades going back and forth at this stage. Only really meeting the feet of Zin there, so he's down just a little bit of HP, but ultimately, both sides still alright in terms of numbers. But Clutch Kings relegated to the pistols, they're going to have to do a lot here if they want a chance of winning this. Ultimately, on paper, there should definitely be another round here for X Ashes. It's just going to depend on where they can get an entry and how sneaky, basically, Clutch Kings are going to be playing with these pistols, because we've seen time and time again. Pistol rounds in SA are just insane, but Hopper, my goodness gracious, makes me eat my words as he takes 2 players down and opens up that A side single-handedly. And now Clutch Kings have no choice but to rotate around. They just have to worry because Volfer is there for the flank, and he's already keeping 2 players from Clutch Kings here. So only Blind to try and dissuade them, and he's going to go down immediately. Though Volfer has gone down, it's still a 2-on-4 situation. Slings down to 18 HP. I don't see this happening. And ooh, X Astra's actually hunting for these kills. They don't want to give anything away, but ultimately 2 pistol kills here for Clutch Kings, so a little bit of damage.
Yeah, that was very well played there by X Ashes, you know, knowing that they're on that eco and they just take it slowly, you know, basically like, you know, time by time, and they just, you know, don't make any mistakes and don't be too aggressive, and they play together. And Hopper just waiting for that bulk push, expecting it, and gets the double K, and he, gets all the money in his bank.
All the money indeed. And now Clutch Kings with those 4 nades looking to do a bit of a nade stack here. Get a little bit something extra this round because they really just have USPs and their P2000s to work with. So once again, on paper, definitely a round that you should be looking for that X Astres win, but damage at this stage is the only thing that X Astres can hope. The Clutch Kings can hope for. Looks like they're still holding onto these nades, so this might be a good bit of damage, trying to just stop them from getting into the side later on. But for now, X Ashes is trying to get some good map control, trying to once again take that default stance, get a good bit of information on where exactly Clutch Kings are holding and where their defense is the strongest. But with the SMGs just running away, ooh, I was gonna say Blind should be going down much quicker, but instead he takes a kill with Zen chiming in. With the backup of Slinks, they actually take 3 players down here, 3 kitted players from X Astres down now. With only pistols in the hands of Clutch Kings, they've done quite a bit with these pistols. So now, X Astres, Zenix and Volfer, last players alive for X Astres to try and recover this. Bit of an awkward timing there. Volfer somehow still managing to stay alive, not getting caught out just yet. But now, I mean, you've got 2 guns recovered, and I'm not seeing any of the guns actually in the... There we go. Actually in the hands of Clutch Kings. So now ultimately 2 Mac 10s running down Banana. It's only a 3v2, but gonna have to see if X Ashes can just hold on to this, because this is starting to get a little bit dangerous now for Clutch Kings. 2 Mac 10s, a little bit of utility going into this retake. That's gonna help force out the players here from X Ashes. Volfer actually in an awkward situation, gonna be the first to take contact, but Zenix has got his back, and now they're just playing their time. They're just swinging around. So good recovery there, but still, once again, some nice damage.
Yeah, like you said, it was a very good recovery round from X Ashes. I think they let it get a little bit too close there, but it was very well played there towards the end. Both players playing with one another and have a good little cheeky crossfire there. So yeah, that was a very well played round by X Astres. But nonetheless, very good eco by Clutch Kings, taking 3 guns, not bad.
A little bit of extra money goes a long way when you're on the CT side, and now we can see the full buy coming out here from Clutch Kings. This is finally the first round that they've got equal footing here to take a fight and potentially take their first round away from X Astres. Now, looking at the default here, X Astres once again, they have some good early on map control here, apps control in their favor, banana control almost in their favor, but they have to take this a little bit slower than previous rounds, because Clutch Kings, once, as we said, on equal footing and looking for that first round. So Sabre just trying to edge forward with the backup of his team. Zenix actually going down there. So 1 player spotted out, but still not a lot of information for X Astres. At this stage, they're still trying to find out where exactly Clutch Kings are. So 4-on-5 is the situation for X Astres. Ooh! With a little bit of a couple of shots there from Clutch Kings. Sabre getting put down to 58 HP. Manages to get out of it, but now need to regroup. Now you need to work out a plan here. And it looks like Banana and B might be the better option, but Clutch Kings seem to have been reading this quite well. Got 3 players here on the B bomb side ready and waiting to stop the barrage of X Astres players. 4-on-3 is going to be the situation. Can Clutch Kings do it? Can they hold it? Can they get their first round? Utility getting set and prep. That Molly actually going to waste quite a bit of time here from X Astres. The flash is coming through. Ooh! The smoke's actually looking for that CT player. We've seen this once before. Oh, and blind exactly takes down 3. Hopper now left in a 1v3 at this stage. Only player left to try and recover this for X Astres, make that a 1v2, but he has to find the players in the smoke. Ooh, not peeking the right place at the wrong time, unfortunately. So Clutch Kings take their first round.
Blind living, living to that name there. Just getting 2 kills there, fully blind. And I just feel like X Astres, as a T, you need to, bait that util towards B. They didn't do anything of that sort. So when it came time to execute, Clutch Kings just mollied. They just double mollied, and that's already half HP that you're running into a bomb site. And I just think Clutch Kings is doing very well there with their util, not throw in at early game because X-Ash just aren't contesting early game. So they just hold into the util till 30 seconds, and when X-Ash just execute, they just throw their util down, and it just wastes so much time for them.
Yeah, and I mean, towards the end, that utility, as you mentioned, I mean, X-Ash, just looking at the time, they didn't really have to push that immediately, but it felt a little bit forced towards the end, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, that just meant they were running blindly into the crosshairs of Blind himself. So now, with that one round taken for Clutch Kings, they're looking for a little bit more. X-Ashes, they're going to be able to buy up into this round, a little bit of a quasi-buy, 2 Mac 10s, and you can see that is why there's such a change in tempo. They're trying to take some early control here. Sabre getting that trade there from Sergeant Ross. So 1 apiece each at the moment. X-Ashes looking to get some control here. 2 players from Clutch Kings to try and stop them. And at this stage, oh, the sprays are through, but it's not connecting. But Paxson taking down 2, still holding Clutch Kings in this. Unfortunately, can't get the flying Volfer down. So now we're looking at a 2-on-2 retake. Bomb should be going down shortly. And now Clutch Kings, they have to weigh up their options, both teams. Economy is looking a little bit tight. Both teams looking to get another round. So for Clutch Kings, I definitely think they'd want to go for this at this stage. You can see they're not backing down. Just about to see if they can find the players, if they can find the shots. A lot of smoke around the side. Blind taking down the first. Only Volfer left in a 1v2.
Oh, and they win it
out.
out.
Spray is there. I mean, that's great. That's that extra bit of money, you know. As you've just gotten your first advantage, now you're continuing it.
Yeah. I mean, that was a very, very well played retake there by Clutch Kings. You know, the 2 players just playing with one another, and I feel like X-Ash is just playing a little bit too. I think it might be just a bit of comms or a bit of panic, bit of nerves. But you know, one teammate was fighting and one was hiding. You know, in that situation, you both need to be fighting at the same time. You can't, you know, can't lose those duels, unfortunately. But yeah. Very good round there by Clutch Kings, considering they were on the back foot that round.
And I mean, now they're looking to tie it up as X-Ashes, they're relegated to pistols. So now they, on paper, are looking to be the ones to lose. But once again, you can't count out these Deagles. We've seen what they can do. Ooh, MDK is going to spot out the figures, but unfortunately, he doesn't get the kills. He puts Hopper and Sabre down to 4 HP and 8 HP respectively, but ultimately loses that AK, loses that initial advantage, and now the pistols have taken the life of one of their rifled players. So Clutch Kings on the back foot here with a 4v5 situation, but as you mentioned, a lot of damage has been done. You can see a lot of these X-Ashes players.
Good little smoke though by Blind as well, just to stop that momentum that X-Ashes had that round on Banana.
So now they have to take a slower pace. Now they have to think about their options. And ultimately, they have to be careful here. If they want to try and take this round, which, I mean, in terms of numbers, they have the advantage, but in terms of HP, not quite there. So have to be careful here as they enter the site, because Blind and his teammates in are looking to get the kills. Utility that they have at their disposal is going to help them try and get into the site. And again, once again, Zin taking a page from Blind as he sprays down 2. Ooh, the conversion is there for the 3rd, and now it's just Hopper left on 4 HP in a 1v3 situation. Bomb is open to him. He's going to be able to get a plant, that is, if Slinks doesn't shoot him down through the smoke. So, I mean, the sprays here from Clutch Kings is just great.
Yeah,
I mean, they're getting those frags.
Exactly. And the util that they are using is just being put down at the right place, you know, at the right time. You know, Zin puts that smoke down, and as a terrorist coming out of that smoke, when you're executing on Banana, you're always at a disadvantage. And you know, Zin just pushes CT and he plays behind the smoke, and he gets he got a triple, I think. There he got a 3K. So I mean, yeah, it's very well played. Util being used very, very wisely and very well by Clutch Kings.
And now look at this. I mean, there's the buy round now for X-Ashes, and Clutch Kings actually taking some control here. Down middle they go. Just need to be careful of that underpass position, and unfortunately they're just getting sandwiched. So X-Ashes, they take the 3 kills. The advantage Clutch Kings were trying to get, they've unfortunately just given it right back to X-Ashes, and now they're going to be going into a free A site. Ultimately, MDK and Blind left in a 2v5 situation with the money looking the way it does. I mean, this has to be a save.
Yeah, I would. Your money's not looking great right now as CTs, and I don't know. It's a bit of a weird choice to choose, you know, to rush down middle as a CT. I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it. You want to change up the pace, but then have a strat, you know, or have a, have a plan. If you rush down the middle and you don't see anything, then try get out or keep that control. It felt like Clutch Kings rushed down middle and then they were very hesitant. Some were rotating back up towards A and some were staying in middle and then they just got sandwiched and it just got very messy. Could be just a lack of communication or just not knowing what to do.
It's also quite a gamble to take just as you tie it out with your opponent. I mean, they've literally just managed to tie up the scoreline, and now Ashes, they're going to once again take it away from them. So, with that fourth round being in their pockets, Clutch Kings, once again, they're on the back foot, and now they need to catch up. So, that pace change, yes, definitely always want to try and get that, but I agree with you. Have a plan, either get the information early, try and continue that control, but as a unit, you need to make the decision together. So,
yeah,
a little bit confused there.
You can't hesitate, otherwise that happens. Basically, you get sandwiched from second middle, from middle. You kind of either need to push down and keep the control, or like just push one down, let him get the information, and two stay up towards middle. Not all three of you run down towards middle.
So now Clutch Kings with Quasibar coming out, they managed to get just basically what they can afford at this stage. So some FAMASas in hands of Clutch Kings with a bit of rifle and a bit of utility. Ultimately, now they're going into potentially what could be a bit of a reset here, as money's not looking too great. And Ashes looking to get another round, looking to get that gap even further. So looking at this default here, I mean, they're just holding it at this stage and waiting for Clutch Kings to once again, do something aggressively. They're just waiting to see what Clutch Kings might do, because I think they're expecting quite an aggressive player from this team at this stage. Yep. Getting some good control here, just trying to edge that even further, trying to get into that middle to A position there. Again, utility used wisely, so everybody going down to 67 HP. Ooh.
Oh,
it's okay.
That's your teammate, fam.
Trigger happy, it's okay. Smokes can be quite daunting. But now, good boost here, as they are going to be able to see every player from Ashes at the moment. They're going to have to fall back though, as the response is there. So, damage done. They've taken one player, but ultimately still a lot needs to be done. They still need to hold off on this take. So Sergeant Ross here, in quite a vital position. He's going to be able to get a bit of a crossfire here. Ooh. Takes down Slink, so that opens it up. Only two more players to be found, and now the flank is around. Now they're trying to take this site. Still taking this quite slowly because they do not know where exactly Zin is. So though they take down Paxson, Zin in middle is going to get the trades. He's going to kill Bolfer, but ultimately Sergeant Ross is going to get that trade, and now that takes it down to a 2v2 situation with the retake coming through. Ashes looking to hold on to this once again. This is a doable situation for Clutch Kings once again. MDK and Blind, the two players that recovered their rifles from the previous round. Now, into a bit of a more precious situation. So with that utility going down, they do have a bit more to try and help them get in the site, but they have to get the kills. They have to find the openers. And here we go. Sergeant Ross continuing the carnage, and with Hopper there to trade him out.
Oh,
unfortunately, go down to the fire there, but they get their fifth round.
Yeah, that's a very good round by Ashes. Just knowing where their players are and getting the picks that they need, and then they decide to wrap around A. After Sergeant Ross gets that kill towards Pit, they know A is the weak bomb site, so they just decide to wrap around and push that guy by himself on site. So yeah, very well played by them. But I feel like Clutch Kings need to start taking some control on Banana. They're playing so passive towards B. Yeah, you kind of need to leave one and one rotate towards A, because it's such a hard, site to defend.
And we can see now Ashes, they've got the confidence. They haven't been confronted in B just yet, and you can see the pace that they're just taking this. They're taking it away from Clutch Kings. They do understand that they're on a save, and now they're just punishing them for every decision. Unfortunately, these pistols are just not finding the kills. I mean, they're doing the damage, some dinks here and there. Ultimately, a couple of players quite low, but it's down to Paxton with the P250. Ooh, positioning.
Oh, that's a cheap
Unfortunately,
spot.
not gonna win it out this time. So
yeah,
now Ashes, they have a 3-round lead.
Yeah, like you said, just Ashes reading the economy perfectly and knowing that Clutch Kings are on a save, and they just change up the pace and they hit a full execute B, and they're just not even expecting it. Expecting that full rush, and they have nothing to stop it. No util, no nothing. So. Yeah, it's a very well-played round by Ashes. They're just reading the situation perfectly.
So now a bit of a force coming through here from Clutch Kings. I mean, you've got rifles on every single player. Not as much utility as I think they would want. I mean, they've been so good to use it,
Yeah.
in the previous rounds, and now they just don't have that luxury. They don't have those pieces of utility to utilize. So ultimately, gonna be down to who gets the kill, who gets the frag, and you can see Volfa here waiting for that boost. Ultimately, he's gonna get the one up here on MDK. Is gonna open that B side up, and now Clutch Kings have to make a decision. Do they rotate around? And it's gonna be Zin who thought he was doing the right thing, but he got caught out there by X Astros. They were waiting for it. The timing is perfect, and now they're gonna be able to absolutely swarm blind. He's left alone to try and defend from 5 players from X Astros. Gonna do well to take down Volfa, but has to swing too quickly, and ultimately Sergeant Ross is gonna win it out. And now look at this, X Astros, they have a completely free bomb site. It's only Sinxia and Banana, with his teammate Paxton just trailing behind, quite far behind, I might add. So this retake will probably, I don't know, it's a 2v4 with the money looking the way it does.
Yeah, I would save if you're the CTs, just save up the guns. You need these
Ooh.
rifles, and yeah.
And unfortunately for them, X Astros, they're just not taking anything for granted. I mean, getting some good control back there, good pop flash there through, and they take the kill. So ultimately, now Paxton left in a 1v4 definitely have to save this out. Clutch Kings, economy-wise, they're not looking great.
Yeah, I mean, just X Ashes just playing such great CS right now, just reading the situation perfectly. That round, they get a kill Banana and they get a kill second middle, and they just automatically wrap because they know where they've killed people and where the weak spots are on the map. They just reading the situation and adapting very perfectly right now.
And quite quickly, which I think is the issue from Clutch Kings, they seem to be a little bit stagnant at the moment. Someone drops or someone dies on a site, and then the rotations are pretty slow. So I mean, their
Yeah.
mid round decisions are quite. I'd say that they're decent. I mean, they're choosing to, either stack that B site early or quite late. Expecting that sort of a rush, but I think the rotations at the moment need a little bit of work. And now Clutch Kings once again on the back foot here, only with a rifle. Try and stop X Astros pistols for the rest of them, but with a bit of teamwork, they are going to be able to take down Sergeant Ross here. So that's a gun drop. That's potentially another rifle picked up. In this 5v4 situation that they're looking at, they just need to be careful for Volfa here with his teammate backing him up. They're looking to just keep Clutch Kings in this position as they try and figure out where exactly they want to go at this stage. Looking a little bit perturbed and quite scared for what's going to be coming from the back of them. And now, looking at this this control here from X Astros, looks like an A side is the only option. But will they be able to find the openers? Once again, only pistols for Clutch Kings. Unfortunately, the shot's not connected there for Zin. But the blind man, the rifle man, is here trying to help out his teammates. And the pistol's actually doing the work. Ultimately, it's all down to Sabre in a 1v3 situation. How has this happened? It's only pistols that Clutch Kings are working with, but they're making it work. On the precipice of getting their 4th round here, they just need to take down Sabre. They just need to hold on. Only PT-50s in their hands. Rifles are on the map.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to recover them as they close it out.
Yeah, that was such a good round there by Clutch Kings, just changing up the pace and sending it forward towards Banana and just getting that control. But I feel like Ash is just playing too passive, that round. The person that the person that died towards that Banana, you spotted for running down Banana at you. Make that call, and it should have been adapted immediately, and they should have just rushed up middle and hit that A. You saw the numbers that were all towards B, so hit A. You gave them too much time to rotate into those A positions, just sitting in middle and not adapting quick enough.
And now look at this. Rolf already getting an early frag there onto Zin. I mean, it's already a 4v5 situation. Clutch Kings already on the back foot, and now they still have to hold on for the rest of the round here. Ash is looking for their 8th, and they're looking pretty well to do this at this stage with the numbers advantage that they have created for themselves. So, opening up, trying to figure out what they can do with the real estate that they have acquired at the moment. It's once again, they're just taking advantage of either side. They're making noise, they're getting control, and they're leaving Clutch Kings to wonder where exactly are these opponents wanting to go. At this stage, Clutch Kings, they don't really have any sort of information to work with. So you can see the players on either side. I mean, on A, we've got 2 players in lane. They're just sitting there running around trying to figure out what exactly is happening, trying to get some aggression there. Unfortunately, Sync's going to be going down. Zenix is going to be hearing exactly where he's going. And now, Clutch Kings, once again, they're just stretching out their numbers so thin. We've got 2 players here towards A, only 1 towards B. 40 seconds left on the clock. Astra still have quite a bit of options at this stage. They just need to find the openers once again, but looking good to do so. Utility going through. Here's the rush. Here's the trigger. Will they be able to find the shots? Zinix blindly taking down Paxson there. So now only Blind and MDK once again left alone. The only players alive here for Clutch Kings, and Varolfa looking to make that 0 players, but unfortunately for him, Blind is there to take him down instead. So 2v4. Clutch Kings should once again be looking at a save because they just don't have the economy to do that. I mean, they're forcing quite a few rounds so far. Not that I think they really have a choice.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one. I feel like just Clutch Kings just playing very stagnant on the CT side. They need to start taking control, like, flashing and getting that early aggression just to see what's happening and see what the T's are doing. And but I mean, it's a good save. It's an AK and an AWP, so I think they would probably buy around this. Yeah, they're able to buy now. Get some rifles up with some util, and yeah, I feel like they need to start taking that aggression as CTs. They're giving way too much control to X Astros, and they're just using that to their advantage.
Yeah, they're just running away with it at the moment. And I mean, as you mentioned, Clutch Kings, they don't really have any sort of information to work with. They don't really have anything that they can use to sort of preemptively defend against X Astros. And at the moment, X Astros is running away with it. They're taking the aggression, and they are running around and running away with the rounds. So here we go, Clutch Kings. I mean, trying to get a bit of control there. Good fallback this time around. So they're learning from their mistakes. Not giving anything away for free just yet. So Zin's going to be able to get back into position quite safely and soundly. And now looking to take it further. Ooh, good kill there from Slinks as he takes down Varolfa. That has been quite a scary man to deal with in recent rounds. So that's going to be quite an advantage this time around.
Yeah, cheeky little boost.
Yeah, and it's working out for them. At this stage, they just need to keep holding on to the control that they have. They need to make sure that X Ashes don't get a word in edgewise. They don't get a foot in the door. So now, I mean, I'm seeing some rotations going through here. We might be seeing a B once again. It's been a bit of a while so far. I mean, X Ashes, they've been so good at getting that middle control, getting that initial A control, and then just either, rotating that around to B or just taking that A immediately. So now they're doing the same sort of thing, throwing the utility quite similar to what they have in the previous rounds, but ultimately grouping up and getting set for this B-Tech. Making sure they can get all the control. Clutch Kings, they still got all their players left alive, but no rotations coming through. So only 2 players to try and stop X Astros, and the kills are in favor of X Astros as they completely clear the site. MDK did well to take down 1, but ultimately we're still looking at a 3v3. Again, this team damage. Trigger happy, boys. Calm down. These are how players get killed.
Shoot the red guys, not the blue guys. That's teammate. Don't shoot.
Don't do damage, because now look at this. Clutch Kings, they've taken 2 kills. It's all down to Sergeant Ross in a 1v3 with 33 HP. So many threes at stake at this point. And what is at stake is the 5th round for Clutch Kings. He's going to do well to take down Slinks. Only 2 players left alive. The flash goes through. He's still hiding behind this pillar. He's taking his time. What are these one-shots? What is happening, Zin? The last player alive. And Sergeant Ross is going to clutch it out as he gets his 9th round for his teammates. So, my goodness
that was
gracious.
so well played by Sergeant Ross. I mean, he played that to perfection. Not over peeking, just doing little jiggle piece here and there, holding the right angles and just hitting the shots that he needed to. That was extremely well played by Sergeant Ross.
Also quite confident. I mean, you could see he's just completely calm, completely just playing this as
composed.
It goes.
He's like, I got this in the bag. Gets that first one tap and he's like, I got this.
Oh, and look at this from Clutch Kings. I mean, Zin trying to get a little bit aggro, trying to get some initial control there. It's just going to get taken down. Does well to do some damage there to Zinix and Sabri. I mean, Zinix, pretty low for HP right now. He's going to be picking up the AWP, so that keeps up his frag ability at this stage. 1-shot potential. Slinks finally getting the revenge, takes down Volfer. And now puts it down to a 4v4, but needs to be careful here because we're giving numbers away. Hopper takes him down. And now it's a 3-on-4. I mean, Zinix and Sabri is still very, very low. Still quite possible for Clutch Kings, but they need to hold control. They need to shut down any sort of aggression here from X Astros, and their numbers are quite thinly spread out. So to do that, especially when X-Actress, they group up and they take it together. That's going to be a difficult one. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens just yet.
look
Bomb
at the
being recovered.
HP though
Yeah,
on
1 7 HP.
Ashes. Oh,
That's Zin.
that's
He
like
took
just a
that
little,
initial control.
and they did, you know,
That's a
slow
flashbang
blow on
kill.
them. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, blind with the trigger discipline. He takes down 2. Puts it down to a 2v2 as Sergeant Ross gets a kill there, but ultimately still looking at 30 seconds on the clock. Still looking at a potential round here for Clutch Kings if they can hold on. It's all down to MDK now. Both players from X-Astros are quite low. He's got the HP, he's got the utility. He needs to find the frags. Ooh, he's going to be able to spot out the outline there of Sergeant Ross. But now, with the movements, with the rotations here, MDK has to figure out where exactly is the last player. Oh, that smoke is going to be missing. The bomb is not planted there. So unfortunately for him, he loses out on potentially taking that 5th round for Clutch Kings. But X-Astros, they get those double digits, 10-4, and only 1 round left in the half. It's not looking great.
Yeah, I mean, that was very well played by X-Actress, you know, just one staying in apps and one staying sight, you know, keeping that one high ground, one low ground, just playing that perfectly. But I feel like that should have been calmed, you know, the teammate that was in pit died from apps, so that should have been calmed. So you got to be careful of that spot, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, now, I mean, Clutch Kings, they just don't have any sort of information to work with. So economy is going to be the determining factor, as this is quite a quasi buy. And X-Astros, just look at this tempo. I mean, they're just taking ace sites so well synergistically with that aggression. They open it up, and now it's just holding on to it. It's just getting the bomb down. It's getting kills left, right, and center. Clutch Kings, only 2 players left alive to try and hold on to this, to try and get a 5th round for the next half. MDK taking down Volfer. There is the trade, but he's not looking at the right place. Zinix there takes MDK out, and it's only blind with the deagle. Ooh, was hoping for a couple more 1-digs, but unfortunately that's all that there is for Clutch Kings. So now, I mean, we're looking at an 11-4 score line here.
Yeah.
Clutch Kings started sort of coming back at one stage. I mean, they tied out that 3-3 and then just took that aggression and didn't work out for them, and it seemed like they were struggling to sort of recover from that.
Yeah, I feel Clutch Kings played very passive on that CT side. Unfortunately, on a map like Inferno, you kind of always need to take information and take control and, you know, leave one towards B and rotate over. And I feel they just played very passive. And X-Ash is just, you know, adapting very well in every situation and playing so cohesive as a unit. Where Clutch Kings played very solo, unfortunately, and that doesn't win you games.
Doesn't indeed. And now look at this, still just taking control. But Clutch Kings, they're doing well here with the Glocks. They put it down. Ooh, they put it down to a 5v2. So X-Astros, only 2 players left alive to try and stop this, to try and stop Clutch Kings from coming back. But they're going to have to do quite a bit here. Ooh, Sergeant Ross there with the 1-tap onto the bomb planter. So it's a bit of a delay here, but ultimately still quite doable for Clutch Kings. I mean, they got 4 players. They literally have 2 players per every single 1 player there from X-Astros. So just hold the trays, hold the crossfires, get the kills, and hold on to the round as they can further their lead, as they can further the gap that they've created for themselves.
Yep, they need this round in order to get the next 3, possibly.
Oh, but it's not going to be in favor of them. So, I mean, that's great here for Clutch Kings. This is what they needed. This is now their opportunity to sort of convert that even to a 2nd or a 3rd round.
Yeah, I feel, you know, it was a good round by you know, X-Actress in the beginning, you know, just getting that banana control and rushing down banana and just kind of spotting to see what happened. But, you know, unfortunately, that whole rushing down banana and carry on rushing is very out of meta right now. You kind of don't want to, because a lot of teams expect that, you know, that early B rush, like rush down B and then up towards middle. So you always have that one player that waits T ramp and basically waits for those rushes. And that's what Blind exactly did that round, and he got a 3K. And yeah, I just feel they're a little bit too aggressive. The plan was good, getting that initial control, but once you saw nothing towards banana, they should have just left one, let that person jump spot, and the other 2 rotate all the way to A, and then you have 4, you know, CTs towards that A bomb site, and yeah, just unfortunately not going their way.
Yeah, so I mean, now looking at this, Clutch Kings, they've taken their 1st round. They're going to be opting to get the 2nd or the 3rd, depending on where they go or how they take it. But they need to hold on to it. This is the most important thing. So they need to continue this aggression.
Yeah, they do. They need this. So they got the pistol round, and they need the next 2 rounds at least, and then possibly the gun round. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of rounds to work with, and they basically need as many rounds right now as they can. And yeah, it's going to be a tough climb, but they can do it. You know, they are on that T side where you kind of can play with your teammates and play as a unit, and yeah, so we'll see. It's yeah. Let's see.
So I mean, Deagle's here for X-Ashes. You know, I love me a good deco swing. Like you can definitely see quite a few Khondigs here coming out from X-Ashes. I mean, you've seen the aim that they have. They have the capability. So now, Clash Kings, they just need to be careful of those corners. They need to be careful of where they're expecting these players to be sitting.
Yeah, so you'll find a lot of teams will opt to buy, you know, on that second round, even if they lose pistol round, because Inferno is such a close quarter map, and you kind of take these close battles. So the teams will opt to, you know, get those deagles or even SMG, depending on, you know, how many pistol kills you got that round, and kind of works sometimes in the CT's favor when you buy up second round. So like you said, Clash Kings need to be very careful of these deagles, because it's a one-shot headshot potential, and yeah, it's very scary.
Very scary indeed. So we'll see what happens here if X-Ashes can hold on to this, or if Clash Kings are going to finally be able to close that gap. Ooh, Savory gonna put fear in the heads of Clutch Kings as he takes down one. But now, still 4 teammates on either side. Still 4 players to deal with for Clutch Kings. Make that 3 as Slinks takes down Zinix. Damage has been done. Volfer blindly taking down Paxson and gets bomb control there. So his teammates rotating around, and look at the damage that's being dealt. Clutch Kings in a bit of a situation here as bomb does get recovered. They just need to take down the kills. They need to hold their rotations. So ultimately, they do that quite well. I mean, HP-wise, they're quite low. Hopper in a 1v3, potentially doable if you can get the shots, but still quite a tall order to do, as Clash Kings will be getting the bomb down on that B site.
Yeah, I would save one of those rifles and just possibly save, you know. Unfortunately, you got no kits. It's a 3v1 situation. Rather just save a gun and keep it for next round, because next round the CTs are going to be on a full save.
Yeah, I mean, buying up into this round, you know, with that armor and deagle, with a bit of utility that they have, X-Ashes unfortunately going to feel the brunt of the economy now. So definitely any sort of save or any sort of weapon that they're going to be able to save is going to just help them in the long run. They have the rounds to play with here. So I mean, Clash Kings, you know, they're the ones clawing back to try and close up this gap. But ultimately, X-Ashes, I mean, they still have many rounds to play around with. So closing that down to a 5-round gap now, we might be seeing Clutch Kings coming back here.
Yeah, it's possible. It's Inferno. There's always comeback potential, and yeah, I think we'll see what happens when we get to that first buy round, and yeah, X-Ashes going to be on that full save now. Maybe a little bit of a pistol, P250. And yeah,
relegated to pistols once again. Only USPs, a couple of Deagle and P250s. They in the mix with some utility, but with that Mac 10, maybe they might be able to do a bit of damage here. We've seen on either side what these players can do. And I mean, just holding those angles, you know, that Clash Kings wouldn't necessarily normally expect them. And ooh, I wouldn't be expecting such a Khondig here from Volker. So Paxson's going to be going down. Damage dealt to X-Ashes in return. Sabri, Volfer, Sergeant Ross, they've all been tagged. But they have the numbers advantage and they can hold on to this. If they can, that's the 12th round. But with the AKs in the hands of Clutch Kings, it's going to be quite a tall order. Clutch Kings definitely looking to get their 7, definitely looking to close up this gap. Taking some good damage here, getting some good control, and just holding onto this is the key. So at the moment, I mean, their A site is quite open. I mean, you've only got one player in the form of Orpha here, actually holding onto the site, trying to hold on the site, but his position's been given away as he tries to get that Khondig. So there's the push here from X-Ashes, which I'd like to see. They're changing it up. They're taking advantage of the positions that they have. So those players going down banana, they're going to be able to wrap around the players here from Clutch Kings. Unfortunately, Wolf is not going to be able to get in second, but potentially he might be able to have wasted enough time for his teammates.
Ooh.
And oh, look at that! The Mac 10, the USB doing the damage. There's the bomb going
doesn't
down,
expect
and
the
all
flag.
down to Zin. All down to Zin, and a 1v3 bomb has been firmly taken from them. In the hands of X Astros now, he has to try and open it up. He has to try and recover this. What has happened? But the rifles have been recovered for X Astros, so they take it away. They take the 12th round.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a well-played round by X Astros. Just playing that perfectly, you know, just leaving Volfa, you know, alone on that A bomb site, and he does enough decoying to you know to make Clutch King scared to hit that A bomb site, you know, straight away, and it gives his teammates to basically wrap from B all the way around middle, and they basically sandwich that A site, and the round goes in their favor, and just X Astros hitting the shots that they needed to. Perfect round by them.
They're just going to be able to do so much damage. So, I mean, that's quite a momentum breaker now. Oh, and this utility is doing so much damage, but somehow, some way, Paxson stays alive, and so does MDK. I don't know how Sergeant Ross didn't get that last bullet into him. So down to 8 HP and 23 HP respectively is MDK and Paxson. So they're going to be pretty hurt. They're going to be pretty scared of what just happened on that bomb site. They're going to be pretty scared that Vorfa is just taking kills away. Slink's going
I hate it
down.
when the chicken gets in the way.
Always a chicken, man.
Flipping chickens, man. Get out the way. I'm trying to play CS here, man.
You need to collect them. It's a distraction for your opponents. That's how I think of it. So now 4-on-4 is what we're looking at. But ooh, that nade. Please connect. Please give me a double Kobe. Fantastic. Zinix takes the double. And now he puts it down to a 2v4. Immediately, that advantage that Clutch Kings have managed to take it back, it's been taken away. Not looking good to take this the 7th round here, as it's only Blind and Zin. They have the bomb in hand, but they have to deal with this B bomb site. They have to try and get it, hold the control, and just hopefully hold on to this round for Clutch Kings. Quite a dire situation as they're looking at the reset after this, so this is a very, very vital round. 20 seconds left on the clock as they take the aggression to the B bomb site. The utility there from his teammate blindly going down, and now it's only Zin in a 1v4 with the backup of his teammate. Once again, Sergeant Ross is playing around the corner there. So beautifully played here from X.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, when you lose 2 teammates and you haven't even seen the CT. And it's a tough one. That's a tough one. And just X Astros playing that perfectly, and the rotations come in there perfectly, and the util just helping Sergeant Ross out in that family position. They were very blind, and he just peeks out and he gets the kills that was needed from him.
So once again, just holding on to this round. But now Clutch Kings relegated to pistols on the T side. That's not where you want to be. And with the utility coming out from X Astros, they're just holding on to the control. But Vorfa needs to be careful. Zin is taking so much control. His teammate is not going to be able to stop him from getting that AWP. So that's at least a rifle, one singular rifle recovered for Clutch Kings in this 5-on-4. But the HP, the damage has been done. And now X Astros, Vorfa's teammates, they just need to clean up. They just need to get the last couple of damage points into the bodies here of Clutch Kings, but we'll see if they can do just that. Zin once again opening it up, and now Clutch Kings, they have an opener, they have an ability to get onto this A site. They just need to take down Zinix, but instead he takes down 2, gives his teammates the time to rotate around, and it's all down to Blind as X Astros take their 14th round. Once again, I mean, they get so close. You know, Clutch Kings, they get an opener, they get an entry, they get literally site control.
Yeah, I mean, Zin did perfectly there just to get that control and basically catch that AWP off guard into, and yeah, man, I feel X Astros is hitting the shots. I mean, Zinix going huge that round. I mean, he had to basically get that 3K, and he bided so much time that Hopper could literally rotate from into and just help him out. And they're just individually stepping up, X Astros players.
My goodness gracious, and now Clutch King is down to a bit of a quasi-bar here with Galils and rifles and pistols. The only thing that they have left to try and stop X Astros from getting their match points, but Sergeant Ross and Sabi, they're just getting kills. They're just holding on to this. And now it's all down to MDK and Paxson to try and get the 7th round, to try and stop X Astros from getting match point. With the flank here coming through from X Astros, they have been cornered, they have been sandwiched, they need to try and get control back. MDK taking down Sabri, that's an opener. That's potential. They just need to deal with Vorl. They just need to get the kill, but he drops the bomb. It's only down to Faxon now. With a 1v3, he has only a Galil to his name, and he does not have the positioning. So X-Ashes, they take their match point. My goodness.
Yeah, that was very well played there by X-Ashes, just pushing down that middle and sandwiching Clutch Kings. Just that call coming out from the B players, that it's a full B rush, and they just adapt very quickly, and they basically sandwich Clutch Kings, and they don't have any util or any firepower to basically push down Banana and kind of get that control back. So they just land up getting sandwiched.
And they're fully dependent on this loss bonus at the moment. You can see they're just buying up whatever they can. This is potentially the last round of this map. They need to try and hold on to this. They need to try and get something. Only with Galils and AKs in hand. Only one AK in hand, might I add. But Zinix is just taking kills. Oh, be careful. Self-nade there. Borofur is going to be taking Zin out instead. So, still holding on to a 5v3 at the moment. Make that a 5v2 as the bomb gets dropped in the hands of X-Ashes, all down to Paxson. Once again, only with a Galil. Try and hold on to this. For Clutch Kings, I don't see this happening, but we'll have to wait and see what he can do. It's always potential there. But with the bomb still needing to be recovered, dropped in Banana here. 55 seconds left on the clock. 5 players to try and take out. Ooh, does well to take down Sabri, but is not expecting Zenix in that position. So ultimately he gets the frag. And now 16-6 is our scoreline.
Yeah, I thought that game would have been a lot closer, but it just looks like X-Ash just doing their homework, and they just know what they need to do, and they have executes, and they have they're just on the same page when it comes to adapting to the situation. And Clutch Kings just looking a little bit out of sync there, and just a lot of solo play. And unfortunately, this is a team game, and you kind of need to be a cohesive unit when you're playing against a team like X-Ashes, who are currently playing good CS and playing very well together.
Yeah, and they're holding the control. They're holding, the aggression, really. And constantly X-Ashes, they were adapting. We saw it time and time again, there was some control. They managed to get an entry around, to Archers, so immediately they rotate through to B. Whereas I feel like Clutch Kings, they stayed a little bit too stagnant there. There was not really any sort of adaptation, especially to the aggression here from X-Ashes. I mean, they have the stress. We've seen time and time again, that Banana smoking up the site and going through CT strat. It's something that catches any sort of group of CTs off guard, especially if you're not getting that early information and you're not putting the pressure on, the terrorists to try and make a mistake. Instead, I think it was Clutch Kings just trying to catch up the whole time. Whereas X-Ashes, I mean, they just seem to be getting better and better. I feel like we're watching a team, just a beautiful team.
You can just see they've been grinding. They've been putting in the work. I mean, even the CT side, they weren't stagnant. They were pushing, areas, trying to get that information and rotating their teammates accordingly. I mean, that eco round that they won, sending for Banana, and they just played it so perfectly. They played it so passive. They didn't peek. They didn't give their number advantage away. And when the call was A, they pushed on Banana and they sandwiched, the T's on that A bomb site. So yeah, it's just very well played by X-Ashes that game.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are watching, please stay with us. We still have a grand final that we'll announce shortly. So stay with us. There's more CS after the break. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Inkosi Super Cup Week 7. So at the moment, we've literally just seen Clutch Kings and X-Ashes go head-to-head. Ultimately, it's X-Ashes who's going to be going into the final against Altitude Zero. So, I mean, looking at it now, what is some moments that stood out for you, Shaz?
Yeah, I love the way X-Ashes played as a unit, and they just adapted very well, and they just look like they've been doing the grind and they've been working, and it's great to see from a team like X-Ashes, and yeah, I think it's going to be a hard fought battle for Altitude Zero if
Yeah.
X-Ashes is playing the way they are.
Absolutely, and I mean, let's give ourselves an idea about what we've seen so far and what we should be expecting. Because I mean, going to the standings, we should be able to get a good idea of exactly how these teams have been doing and what they have been doing previously. Because ultimately, I mean, looking at it at the moment, X Ashes has been running away with it. Going against a team like Altitude Zero, I mean, you've got players like Arca, Natural, Shackles, Bitten, Voidclip. I mean, you've seen them do some crazy things themselves, and I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
So X Ashes currently with 27 points. Number 1 on the leaderboard. Royalty closely following in that second place, and Altitude Zero at the moment they're in 5th. So they're definitely looking for another W, getting closer and closer to that sweet second spot, because we know the top 2 going to be going into that promotion match there for Mzansi. And
Yeah, definitely.
at the moment, I don't know if anyone can catch up to X-Astros.
Yeah, I mean they're looking pretty strong, and they're getting the dub every week that they play, and they're just racking up those points, and yeah, it's great to
Absolutely.
see.
And then the reason they've been racking up those points is because they've been coming back time and week again.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
ultimately, that's the difference. So let's look a little bit more about what's going to be happening tonight. So Altitude are going against X Ashes. Looking at the veto, we're going to have to see how this BO3 is going to be turning out, what maps they're going to be looking at, and what we should be expecting. So Altitude Zero doing us a favor there and banning Nuke. Oh, X Ashes banning the train, my favorite, going away out in the pile. And we're starting off with a Mirage, which is an interesting pick. It's quite a puggy map, but we'll talk a little bit more about that now. And then going into a Dust 2.
Cheeky Dust 2, yep.
And there goes the Vertigo, which
that
I'm sure
map
no
just
one is
get out
upset
of
about.
here.
And Overpass leaving us with Inferno as a tiebreaker. So I mean, the ultimate trinity of CSGO, Mirage, Dust 2, and Inferno are going to be the maps we're going to be seeing tonight. Let's talk a little bit about Mirage. So what do you expect on a Mirage?
Yeah, so Mirage is also kind of that map where you can't give a lot of control, to that T side. You kind of, as a CT, you need to be, constantly taking control and getting information and rotating your players off. And it's always got to be a push and pull as well from both sides. And yeah, it's going to come down to whichever team has done the most homework on the map, because Mirage is a very strategic map, and unfortunately, it's not one of your maps where you can just kind of pug out and do what you feel. It's a very strategic map, and it's very synergized as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, you were talking about it's not as a pug map, that we would generally see, but it is one of the 3 maps that, I mean, every player has
Most
at least
common
played,
maps, yeah.
As much as they have. So, I mean, looking at the schedule here, for those of you who are watching for the first time, it is a lot of CS. It's a BO3 for this final, for this week of Inkosi. So definitely please stay with us. So starting off with Map Mirage, as we mentioned, I mean, it's a map that every single player plays at one stage in their lives. I mean, you're definitely going to be coming across it at one stage. Some things are more obvious than others. Some things have been drilled into you, like those AXX smokes, the standards, the things, the bread and butter of Mirage. But it can be extremely strategic, especially now, with taking away that skybox. I mean, that just opens up such a world of opportunity there.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you see a lot of players falling short when they don't have that sort of strategy, that sort of structure to run back and try and hold off the aggression there. Because ultimately, an experienced T-side team can definitely just run circles around the CTs there. They've got middle to take advantage of. Those A-side strats can get pretty crazy. And ultimately, you should be expecting a team to really have drilled this map.
Yeah, I mean, this team's very strategic. As a T, there's so many options. You can take that mid control. You can take it into cat control. You have your lurkers both on B and A. If they have the perfect timings, they can catch off rotators. They can open bomb sites. So it's a very strategic map. And unfortunately, you need to have a big strat book on a map like Mirage, especially if you're dealing with a team like X Ashes, who I think are putting in a lot of work as we can see every week that they play in the Inkosi Cup. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult climb, I think, for Altitude Zero. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, coming back after a win there from X Ashes, they've got the momentum, they've got the hype, they've got the mental fortitude to really take it
And they're hitting
even
the
further.
shots. Individually, they're
Absolutely.
stepping up and they're hitting shots. You know, each player's getting 3Ks, getting 2Ks, and when your whole team is playing like that, it's a very scary team to play against.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen time and time again, you know, Sergeant Ross, he's just holding that calm, composed attitude, and his teammates, they're following in his lead. Volfa also, with those initial entries, they just take kills left, right, and center. So here we go. We've got Altitude Zero starting off on what looks like the CT side, getting some utility in their pockets, a diffuse kit, which I like to see. So there's a bit of a chance of recovery in that sense. But ultimately, it's going to depend on what exactly is X Ash was planning to do. So we've got some bit of utility. We've got the bomb in hand, quite a bit of utility for a T side. So opting instead to take a quite strategic take.
Yeah, I think X Ashes might do A take or B take. Might do that McDonald's smokes and hit that B. Yep, here it is. There goes the McDonald's smokes.
So Altitude Zero, they're reading this quite carefully. They've got 3 players towards this B bomb site, and X Ashes, they're not giving any sort of tempo really away. They're not giving Altitude Zero any sort of chance to try and rotate through, but Altitude Zero hitting the shots. 4 goes down for X Ashes, and it's all down to Vorolfer. He's just getting swarmed, and it's just headshot after headshot so beautifully with that sort of a initial guess, I guess, just to stack that site. It worked out.
Yeah, unfortunately X Ashes runs into Altitude Zero stack, but also what I noticed is that none of the CTs were blind, so they basically had free reign and they just hit the shots that they needed to. And unfortunately, when you hit a bomb site like B, you need to blind off the CTs because you know there's so much cover on that bomb site, and they can just peek and hide, and yeah, that's kind of what happened that round.
Yeah, absolutely. So now SMG's in the hands of Altitude Zero. They're going to be able to buy up a bit of a FAMAS action, some utility in their hands at their disposal. Where's X Astros? Down to the Deagles, down to a full Deagle buy here for X Astros. Bit of armor as well invested into this round, so definitely any sort of loss is going to hit a little bit harder, but it might be the potential for that conversion. It might be an early swing, which is what we always want to see. At this stage, X Astro's just trying to get a bit of control so far. Sergeant Ross getting spotted out and just his head getting taken off as Shackle starts us off. And now his teammates, X Astros, they're still trying to find an opening. This A site is starting to get a little bit closer, but utility's still in the hands of Altitude Zero. I mean, they can completely shut this down. They have the superior firepower, they have the positioning, and they're taking this so calmly. You can see they're not giving X Astros anything for free. So as they edge closer and closer to this A site with some backup there from Connector, they need to be quick. Hop up, going to be able to take down Arkan. Puts us down to a 3v4. Bump still has not yet been recovered. So Bump going to get recovered and going through ramp. Natural might be in the position to shut this down. This position getting given away there with the shots. Teammate through CT trying to just give him some backup. But it's alright, as Natural takes the kill, he opens it up, and he takes a second. So now, X Astros, they don't have any sort of option. Down to Zenix, he has to get the headshots, he gets down 2. Looking for the third, he gets the third!
God.
But unfortunately, the fourth is a little bit crazy to try and hit that. But a beautiful damage done there.
That was a beautiful round there by Zenix. Wow, that was... Sure, that's some good deagle in there. And I was just about to say, you know, Altitude Zero just played that round perfectly, you know, not peeking, playing so disciplined and just, you know, sitting in their little crossfire angles and not giving them, you know, like you said, X Astros any opportunity. And then it comes down to the last couple of seconds and they all push Zenix and he just hits the shots. That got very close.
Absolutely. If Altitude Zero didn't pick together there, it might have been a different story, but now, once again, pistols in their hands. This time, no armor really to help them. Only in the form of Zenix. I mean, he hit the shots. He's got the money for it, so might as well get it. But still, X Astros, you can see here, just a bit of a flank here, just a bit of a distraction in the form of Zenix as they try and take this A site. Hopper does open it up, takes down Void Clip, but still, Natural and Arkan are here to stop them. So Bomb going down, that's a good bit of money here. Volker on the flank might be able to catch out Natural. He does. He opens it up. It's a 3-on-2 As Shackle and Bitten, they chime back, they clutch back, they're trying to get more. Trying to close out this round pretty swiftly. So, I mean, only with pistols down, X-Ashes have done well in this round, but ultimately, with Hopper in a 1v3 with only a FAMAS, it's going to be the retake and the third round here for Altitude Zero.
Yeah, that was a perfect round, though. You know, basically X-Ashes' job that round was just to get the bomb down, and that's what they did, and very good eco for them. That kind of puts them in a very wealthy position, which is quite nice for them, and yeah. First gun round. Let's see.
First buy round, so this is going to be the first
Except for
equal...
natural.
Well, we don't talk about natural. He doesn't have too much money to deal with, and instead Shackles is going to keep onto his money and just let the MP9 run away. But this is the chance for X-Ashes to get their first round, to get some possibilities back. But look at this change up here from Altitude Zero. Sergeant Ross is going to be there to get the trade, but he's in a lot of danger. Arkan's still here to get the kill, and he does. So 3 players down for X-Ashes. There's only Hopper and Zinix left alive to try and hold on to this buy round, trying to hold on to what could be their first round, but it's not looking good. It's not looking great. Zinix lost the left 1v4. Ultimately, has to do so much if he wants to hold on for X-Ashes. He's got the bomb in hand. But can it be enough? Can he do it? We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, in that lowest position, has some information that there's a player towards Cat, but has no idea where the rest of the CTs are. And I have to make a choice. Do you go B? Do you go A? Do you just save it? I mean, it's a 1v4. It's a risky situation. And next round, your teammates are not going to be able to buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's a tough one, you know. It's like you said, it's a 4v1, and your money's not looking great right now. I mean, I would just opt to save this AK and hopefully take it next round and maybe buy up some deagles and with that AK and just try to do something extra and try to get around. You know, you're already behind in rounds and you kind of need some rounds on the board.
Yeah, I mean, this gap is starting to get bigger and bigger. At this point, you know, Altitude Zero, they're going to be taking their 4th round. And look at the money from X-Ashes. They're going to be looking at potentially, you know, like a mini buy, get a couple of pistols, maybe even a couple of SMGs, or if you so wish, you can potentially force up into this with the loss bonus. But it's still, you're dependent on that loss bonus. Your economy is getting dangerous, and it's starting to get to a point where now you have to make some rash decisions. So, as you mentioned, with that loss bonus, X-Ashes is going to be able to buy up, but what's important for them this round, Shaz?
Yeah, well, you know, just want to mention that round by Altitude Zero was fantastic. Just changing up the pace, you know. X-Ashes probably thinking they're going to take it passive. It's a buy round, and they just push into them, and they basically win that out, and they catch them off guard in that middle. And yeah, X-Ashes need to start changing things up a bit. Maybe, you know, try baiting out util both sides. I feel like just Altitude Zero just on the upper hand, just adapting very well, and you can see they've done their homework and they keep changing it up. CT side. I mean, again, look at it.
Changing it up. As they take down a kill, but ooh, Hopper takes 2. So he makes this possible for X-Ashes. He opens up a potential chance for X-Ashes. They can get to this A side. Mollying off Arkan, that opens it up with the flashes going through. He's in a position he can't get out of. And they should be able to get the bomb down relatively unscathed. Now, Waroffer taking down Arkan puts this down to a 2v4. Bitten, Shackles. The Altitude Zero players left alive to try and make a decision here. Do we go for it? Do we save? 2v4 pretty risky, and I think the decision has been done. It's a save. So first round for X-Ashes. That's beautiful. Some great recovery there. I mean, there with that initial kill there from Altitude Zero, it wasn't looking great.
Yeah, I like the change up by Altitude Zero, but they unfortunately Hopper just playing that a little bit better, you know. They're not expecting the second one to come through that smoke, and Hopper pushes through that smoke and gets the double kill, and yeah, basically opens up that A bomb site for his team, and X-Ashes just recover that perfectly that round.
Beautiful work done. So X-Ashes getting their first round, opening it up into a chance here. So it would have been, you know, generally we expect, you know, that sort of rollback. So now they get, you know, the second round or third round, but the economy for Altitude Zero is great. So they're still going to be able to buy up. They got the AWP in the hands of Ark and Shackles with that AK. So good firepower, good utility all around. Still a chance in into the 6th round. So for X-Astros, getting some control here, looking at a bit of a default, not really invested into anything specifically. They're just trying to get some information at this stage, trying to get some map control. A bit of action here towards B. You've got 2 players edging closer and closer, potentially looking for a B split here. As we've got players in middle, going through to that cat. It might be a bit of a change-up, but we'll have to see if they can get the entries. If they can get the openers, it might be a different story. Might be a potential here. But they've made quite a bit of noise here, so Altitude Zero should have an indication that there are players from X-Astros towards that banana site. Now, look at this. Facility going through, smoking off that cat and sniper's position. Now it's a case of, okay, are we going A? Are we going B? Where are they going? We just heard a molly, we've just hit the sound cues towards B.
That's a good molly. Very good molly there,
the utility is, the utility from Altitude Zero is just slowing down their pace, not getting any sort of chance at this
molly
stage.
hitting him in the face. Through that smoke.
Some damage done here. Arkin, with the molly, is going to actually take down a second kill before he goes down. So he gives Altitude Zero a chance. It's down to a 4v2. As Button takes a kill of his own. I mean, with the trade of his HP, he's down to 3. So Hopper and Zinix once again in it to cry and clutch it out for X-Astros. This time potentially a little bit more doable, but both teams careful of their economy at this stage. So Hopper taking his time, just waiting.
She's so
waiting
sneaky,
for some
man.
sort of opener.
She's so sneaky.
Shackles on site here, just playing around the pillar. Giving his teammates time and the information. Oh my goodness gracious, I didn't even notice the time.
Oh, that's so detrimental to the T's. I mean, that's no money. That's no money gained. For 4 players that round. 3 players that round. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. That's no money gained that round. That's a bit unfortunate.
They have max loss bonus at this stage, but
yeah, I think just not looking at the time there. No one keeping tabs on that clock, and yeah, unfortunately that round just.
I mean, they had me completely convinced they were going for B take there.
Yeah,
so I believed it. I was waiting for it. So here we go. We've got X-Astros actually changing up the pace this time around. They're not trying to get caught out, being too slow, trying to get into the site this time around, but natural through the smoke, blindly taking down players there from X-Astros, and with Zenix going down, we're looking at a 3v5 in the first couple of seconds of this round. So Altitude Zero just dominating this Mirage CT side at the moment. I have to see if X-Astros can try and open something up, if they can try and claw back into this round at this stage. Looks like an A side might be the easier option with the information obviously we can see, but for X-Astros, they don't know that. They need to figure it out. They need to find an opener, and Varofa is going to do just that. He takes down Arkin. So some focus here from Altitude Zero might be split at this stage. You know, do we split back to A? Do we split back to B? The kill onto B, and it looks like they're just sticking to this 2-on-2 hold. They have no idea just yet where X-Astros are planning to go. No players on the A side or the B side specifically have been seen other than Varofa. But going through Connector, it's going to be an A sec. It's going to be an A tech, it's going to be an A assault, but natural there, taking down the flank there from Varofa, and with rotations coming through, Sergeant Ross puts an end into it. He takes down 2 through the smoke. So 2 left for Altitude Zero, 2-on-2 on either side to try and hold on to this round. X-Astros looking to get their second.
Oh, that's going to buy us so much time.
And with the fact that both players from Altitude Zero are there, they're definitely going to be buying it. So a lot of time indeed. And Sergeant Rons once again doing all the work at this stage. He takes down his 3rd kill. And he's still got his teammate Hopper to back him up in case he does die. 11 HP, as we've mentioned, he's extremely low, but Shackles can't find him. Yep. Once again, Sergeant Ross just playing around the angle. He's got a teammate there to back him up. So beautifully
that's
done.
Very well played there by Sergeant Ross. You know, just getting those entries that he needed to, and just playing that perfectly. You know, he kills that one CT under balcony, and he repositions, and Shackles pushes, and he has no idea where he's gone. He was like, "This is like some magician. Where did he go?" And Hopper, you know, with the help, and yeah, very well played. Good recovery round by X-Astros. I was just about to say, you know, Altitude Zero just playing very well in that middle, the beginning of the round, like with their util and flashing teammates to get those kills. But yeah, nonetheless, X-Astros, very good recovery, and very well played there by Sergeant Ross. I mean, he landed up getting a 3K there, 4K, I think that round, 3K, 4K. And yeah,
3K
he just
with Hopper getting the last.
yeah, he played phenomenally well that round, and just his positioning there was really good that round too.
And once again, this calm play, like he's not getting at all flustered of what's happening
He's so
around
disciplined. He knows when to aggress and when to not aggress, and just play smart. You know, he could have fought Shackles as soon as he jumped into Sandwich, but he opts to just play around that box and wait for his teammate to help him.
So
no need to fight unnecessary, you know?
Altitude 0 with the Eagles once again. Arkan doing well to take down 1, but it's just a barrage of ex-Ashes players. 3 taken away from them, and it's only Bitten and Shackles to now and try and recover something in this round. So they've only invested really Armor and Eagles into this round, but it's still with the round gaps that they have, they can play around with it, but definitely want to try and get something for your efforts. So ex-Ashes potentially might be able to recover that rifle drop by Hopper, but it won't be an easy recovery. So bomb down. Potentially the third round here for ex-Ashes, and Bitten just trying to creep around the corner, just trying to find someone. We've seen what these Deagles can do before, so now...
Look how disciplined they're playing though, is.
Now
just not... Oh, okay. As I say that, like, why? Why you gotta...
You curse them, Shaz. Okay. So there we go, Altitude 0, they take 3, they cover an AK, and Shackles might be able to go back and get another one.
Okay, take it back. Take it back. Take it right back.
This thing called Caster's Code. It happens.
They were playing that so perfectly. You know, the Palace guy just jiggle peeking, spotted the guy stairs, and then all of a sudden just peeking, and Altitude 0 just getting the picks. Oh man, I think I should just shut my mouth.
The Deagles, you can never
I'm just gonna shut my
Deagles.
mouth, because as soon as I say something, it's the opposite happens.
It happens to me all the time. Don't worry. It's just a part of it. And now ex-Ashes, they've managed to actually do so well. They got the bomb down. Unfortunately, lost a couple of rifles to Altitude 0, so both teams going to be able to buy up into this round, but both teams edging closer and closer to that reset. Ex-Ashes, for their 4th round, they're going to have to get some more control here. They invested 4 players into this banana take, so it might be an early take here. With someone holding the flank, they need to be careful of Arkan. He's so close. He's got a lot of information. He knows no one is in middle. And you can see both sides expecting that push, expecting that barrage of players from ex-Ashes and waiting for it. So definitely going to be a 5-man stack, a 5-man push here into this B-bomb site. The tempo that they're taking, potentially this might be it. This might be how they get their round if it was not for Bitten. He takes down Hopper. Good recovery there from Vorolfer as he takes down the last remaining players on the B-bomb site. Sabri, unfortunately, going down to a bit of damage there. But now it's a 3-on-2. Vorolfer just tearing it apart. He's on his 3rd. And he's looking and hunting for more at this stage. So close to the window, might be getting more as Voidclip going closer and closer to this market position here. It's Arkan and Voidclip to try and recover a round.
Yeah, they don't have time, unfortunately, so I would just opt to save this. The economy's not looking great, the CT side, and
another player going down. It's a 1v3, and AWP might be recovered. You might get some kills here. Finally take down Vorolfer, but it's going to be the 4th round here for ex-Ashes, and it's a beautiful change-up. I mean, we were praising them for this in the previous match. They can change it up so quickly.
Yeah, I love the fact that they're changing it up and, you know, just going very quiet on that B. And even though, you know, Altitude 0 had the information there, they just kept quiet. They went dark, and you know, Altitude 0 had no sound cues on to what ex-Ashes was doing until, you know, it was too late and that full B rush was there. And yeah, Util just being perfect as well. B players blind, and that's kind of what they needed to do, you know, blind those B players and get into the site and get in their faces while they are blind.
Get up close and personal. Now look at this Altitude 0 with the Deagles, with the pistols that they have at their disposal. Also just trying to get some control here, trying to get some information as well. So they've got the information that there's no one ramp, but oh, Zinix just holding the kill. One tap onto Bitten there. So that information, that advantage taken away from Altitude 0, and the AWP going down. B-side getting opened up. Oh, Shackles trying to recover something from the round. Sneakily with that position, but unfortunately not getting that clean shot is going to mean his life is going to get traded. Voidclip and Natural left in a 2v4 situation here to try and do something for their team at this stage, but Once again, it's a similar situation to the previous
Oh,
round,
so
and there,
good.
Voidclip going down. It's a 1-on-4. I don't see this happening. Oh, we have to
Yeah,
wait and
I
see.
mean, that was so well played there. I don't know if you saw there by Sergeant Ross and Volfro. Like, Sergeant Ross throws a flash and you know, the CT expects it the first flash and doesn't expect that second flash from his teammate. That little pop flash into Market, and he's fully blind by Till, and Sergeant Ross gets the frag on him. Just X-Ashes is playing as a team, you know. No one playing solo, everyone playing, you know, for the team and peeking for the team and using the util for your teammates, you know. If a flash is thrown, it's used in the round, and just util not going to waste and just playing together.
So, I mean, it's these small things. It's Sergeant Ross, you know, working with his teammates with the pop flash, the double flash into Market to get the optimal, you know, kill there. It's also them recovering the AWPs, putting them into a position where the bomb's going to blow away any sort of recoverable guns. It's the small things that they're thinking about that is making the difference.
Yeah, definitely. You can just see that X-Ashes have been grinding. They're just doing their homework and just adapting as well to information that's been given to them during the rounds. And yeah, whoever's making the calls is doing a very fantastic job right now.
So once again, Altitude trying to change it up. Woo! And this time it's going to pay off. With the pistols, with the MP9, they're going to be able to swap out for an AK, so that's a good upgrade
look at the
to hold
adapting
into this round.
From X-Ashes. Look how they just adapt.
Immediately just taking that A control. I mean, oh, the pistols! Voidclip P250 headshot, bang, 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 takes down 2. Down to Zinix in a 1-on-3 as he takes down Arkin. They're still recoverable, but he has to be careful. He's sandwiched at the moment. Altitude Zero know exactly where he is. They know where the bomb is, and they have recovered that AK. So now they're just playing time, baiting and switching away and just trying to get him out of the picture. So manages to get down into ramp, manages to actually get out of the situation, but still. Under a minute left on the clock, he has to try and do something for this round. Otherwise, this is going to be devastating. In terms of what X-Ashes have just managed to do. They've just managed to tie it out, and now all of a sudden, Altitude Zero, with some insane pistol shots, potentially take their 6. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, might not spot Natural out here. It's going to be a point of time here. Who's going to be peeking who first? And now 30 seconds left on the clock. Oh, I mean, I would panic in that situation too if I just suddenly saw a CT appear before me. But Altitude Zero, they take the 6th round.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a perfect round by X-Ashes. You know, that you see them adapting already. You know, the mid player dies and he calls that it's a mid rush and they immediately hit that A. But just, Altitude Zero hitting their shots. Voidclip in that triple box position takes 2 with him, you know, with the P250. I mean, he shouldn't be winning battles like that, but he does, and basically puts his teammates in a numbers advantage, and they play that out perfectly. Altitude Zero being very disciplined that round, not giving you know, Zinix that chance to even come back that round, not giving that one-on-one duels that he can take, and they just played so passively and disciplined. And yeah, it was very well played there by Altitude Zero.
So now this momentum that X-Ashes have created, it's been shut down. That round advantage that they were stringing together, it's been cut, and now Altitude Zero, they once again in the lead this time around, only with 1, but it might be more. AWP in the hand of Arkin, a little bit of a boost there. He's holding and waiting for his opportunity. Ooh, I like this. A nice quick cap boost to get him into a position that might be quite unexpected for X-Ashes. Not taking the initial shot there, so just holding the defense. But X-Ashes, they're still trying to get some map control. Once again, Borofer. Never mind the boost. Arkin goes down. That AWP dropped.
What AWP?
No AWP.
No AWP.
No AWP for
Dead.
See you next round. But they take the trigger there. They take a page out of Borofer, and they take some good aggression onto this B bomb site. Taking Shackles out of that position. Opening up the B bomb site. The bomb is going to be going down, and now X-Ashes, they have the positions once again. Volfer on this flank, he's going to be able to catch a Natural out of the guard. Natural goes down with the trades here just going in favor of X-Ashes. I mean, Altitude Zero, they really haven't been able to get anything this round. I mean, Hopper down to 2 HP, but still 5 players left alive for X-Ashes. What a beautiful round to take it. Ooh, as I say that, finally Volfer gets traded, but done so much damage this round. And ooh, last bullet there for Bitten. So he's still managing to stay alive. He's still going to be managing to try and save that M4. That is if he doesn't meet any of the players that are currently trying to hunt him. But Exastrus, they're tied up again, 6-6. And it just seems like we're swinging. You know, it's a 6-5. It's a 4-5.
Each round's coming down to the wire. And that round just very well played there by Exastrus. You know, Volfra just getting that pick on the guy window. And Exastrus just knowing that, you know, that's one of your B players. So they just hard hit that B. And that's one man defending against 4 Ts coming at you. It's a very hard job to do on especially a bomb site like B. And yeah, very, very well played there by Exastrus on adapting.
I mean, what can you do in that situation when Varolfa is just hitting all the shots?
Yeah.
Not this time, AWP in the hands of Shackle, trying to get an early pick. Just manages to get out with his life, but the push is here from Exastrus, and blindly, Altitude Zero are trying to hold on to this, trying to defend themselves. And unfortunately, the shots are just not connecting. Bitten did well to take down Hopper there, but it's not going to be enough as Exastrus once again, they take the B bomb side relatively quickly within the first couple of seconds of the round. And now a retake is the case here. A retake at the risk of the economy. I mean, look at this. We've got not a single player from Altitude Zero above 1,000.
Yeah, I would save this. Time's not on your hand, and it's very hard to retake this B bomb site right now.
It just looks like there's a bit of a struggle there to try and just hold that pacing from Exastrus. Now, suddenly they have this insane tempo.
Yeah, I feel like Altitude Zero just not adapting. You know, it's been three rounds in a row now that you know, Exastrus has come B, and it's been twice now that they've actually, like, you know, come quite fast towards B. Throw that initial molly just to stop the rush, and throw some nades deep into B. You know, they are using that B because they see it's a bit of a strong link on you know, of a weak link, not a strong link, a weak link on Altitude Zero's side. And I feel like they're just not, the B players just not adapting and not using the right util when they rush. You know, you have mollies, you have nades, you have flashes, throw them, you know, especially when they rush B fast like that. Don't nade into the apps, nade on the floor where they have to jump into the molly. I feel too much panic and not enough composure, and just take it smart and use your util correctly on B. Unfortunately, B is such a closed, narrow site that you kind of need to use your util properly, otherwise it goes to waste, you know. So yeah.
So we'll see if Altitude Zero can fix a little bit of their mistakes. Now, once again, a bit of a quasi-buy here. Bitten and Shackle's only down to pistols, with their teammates there from the previous round managing to save those rifles. It's a bit of a luxury there, but can they make something work out of basically just a quasi-buy here? So Shackle going down there, trying to get some early information. He has been able to spot 3 players and potentially the bomb. So information is in favor of Altitude Zero, but they're not doing anything with it at the moment. They're just still holding this.
Oh, cheeky boost.
Going to be rotating around, so might actually catch a glimpse of Exastrus players here through the window. Oh, sorry, Bitten. Holding and waiting for it. Potentially might just spot out Savory. Can't connect the shot. As I say that, he takes him out of the picture. He's just holding and waiting, trying to waste more time. So he's managed to spot 2 players now. They should know that this is going to be an A-side take, but they don't have the numbers at this point. They still have to be 1 player towards that B bomb side, but with the utility coming through, that's all the confirmation you need at this stage. Rotate through, help out your teammates. Natural, left alone. It's taken out. His teammates are smoked out. They're not in position to help him at this situation, and now it's a retake for Altitude Zero. And not
that timing.
Arkin instead, with the timing taking down Sergeant Ross. So that's at least a kill. Ooh, that's another gun down. So Arkin with the M4 once again. Just gonna have to think about saving.
Yeah, it's a very weird one because, you know, I don't know if that's a miscommunication, but Arkin was already falling off. You know, after he got that kill window room, he's already falling off onto B, and you know, I don't know if that's been calmed to a teammate, but you know, teammate CT is busy fighting where he could have also saved his gun, you know, because window was clear. The whole of CT was clear, could have fallen back to B, and could have saved 2 rifles for the next round, but now there's only one.
Only one left alive. So, again, economy has been recovered. Altitude 0,
Yeah.
they're going to be able to buy up AWP in the hands of Arkin once again, and actually a WAWP setup coming through here. So, this is a bit of an interesting one. Maybe this will be the change that Altitude 0
do or
need.
die.
Do or die indeed as we go through into the last round of the half. It's their last potential chance to get that 7th. Or what could be the 9th for X-Astros. That is if Natural doesn't hit shots like that. He takes down Vorfa.
He doesn't need an AWP.
He doesn't need an AWP. He just needs his rifle and some good timing, and he takes a good headshot onto Vorfa. So that's been the impact player. You know, that's been the thorn in Altitude Zero's side, especially with the flanks that he's been taking through. So it's quite a good opportunity here, especially with the numbers being the way that they are. But now they need to hold on to this. They cannot let X-Astros get hold on any sort of sight. Utility Arkin, you're in some trouble.
Bad life decisions.
In some trouble there with the utility getting burnt out of position. Natural once again getting a kill. And this time onto Hopper, which is the last.
Everything
it's not
in
a fun
that window.
Not at all. Ooh, Voidclip actually spotting out the rifles there. Ooh, just the timing.
Fight.
Somehow Zinix gets the fight instead, and Bitten's going to be there to get the trade, but he's immediately spotted out, and he's immediately under pressure, trying to hold on to this, but Sergeant Ross getting the kill. And now it's only one player. It's only Shackles with the AWP on B site. He does well to take down one, but he has to try and just hold out. Manages to get into market somehow, some way, with some movement there. And now
he'd be bunny rabbiting.
He'd be bunny rabbiting right into market, right into the group up here with his teammates. So 2-on-1 retake this time around. Savory, last man alive with the timing. Just around the corner they swing. And now some beautiful utility. Blind Shackles there just gives him a little bit more time and an opportunity here to reposition, which Natural doesn't expect. But Shackles, the AWP you needed for Altitude 0.
The bunny rabbits.
The bunny rabbit takes the 7th round for Altitude 0. That's beautiful.
So, it's the round they needed.
Absolutely. But both in terms of just, general scoreline, but also just a bit of morale. Just try and get some points here, because as we can see on the scoreboard, X-Astros, they've been stringing rounds together, and it's been quite a tough position here for X-Astros.
Exactly.
Sorry, for Altitude 0.
Yeah, and it wasn't looking great for Altitude 0 in the beginning, and for them to bring it back to, what was that, an 8-6? My maths, 8-7? Yes, half. I mean, that's great.
Doubles?
That's great.
Numbers?
Yep.
Absolutely. So
8-7 half's always good.
Yes, it's just one round advantage. It's a potential rotate either way, depending on who wins this pistol round. That's another 3 rounds that they can add up and they can tally up. We'll see what they can do this time. Altitude 0 on the T side with the Glocks, with the pace that they can take it. Might be a different story, but Zenix and Hopper here taking some early aggression, trying to get some early information, and potentially, once again, returning the favor to Altitude 0 of the previous round, of the previous pistol round, but Zinix getting tapped through. Oh, the flashes are there on either side. Teammates are blind, and pace is here from Altitude 0. So, X-Astros going to have to back away. There's some trades on either side, but nothing really too convincing at this moment, as we're down to a 2v2. Vorfa and Sergeant Ross left lost alive, but Natural so close, so he's going to be able to take down Vorfa. And now Sergeant Ross left alive in a 1v2, trying to clutch it out here for X-Astros, trying to get another round. Definitely an important one, which is this pistol. Got a scoreline that is this close. You want to get any sort of advantage. It does well to take down Arkin to 6 HP, but starting to run out of bullets at this stage, and just can't connect the shot onto Natural. So Altitude 0, they tie it out. 8-8 is our scoreline, and now potentially they can take the 2nd or the 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like both teams love doing that B rush on pistol round, eh? And it works out for both of them, both in their favors. And it was good trades there by Altitude 0, and just getting in that bomb site, getting in their faces, and winning that out, even though it was a stack towards the CT side.
They're just holding it at this stage, and now we'll see if they can do it again. But X-Astros down to the
It's just
Deagles,
running
fully
in there.
blind. Running through, Zinix takes down Shackles, and Sabri and Vorulfer with the pistols once again. What are they doing? They've taken down 3. And now with that AK recovered, Zinix taking the life of Natural. It's only down to Voigtler with the Mac 10. All the AKs have been recovered by X-Astros at this stage. They've been taken out of the picture, and the bomb is in their hands as well. So X-Astros swing it around, they convert it, they take the 9th.
Well, when you give X-Astros that much leeway, they're just gonna take it and they're gonna, win that round out. I mean, you can't just run into a bomb site and not have any util backing the players up. Even though Butson got to where he was, right, on that A bomb site, smoke still should have come down, behind him, and flashes at least. You can't be just running in dry like that, unfortunately, especially against a team like X-Astros who, are like positioning themselves in crossfire positions and do hit their shots. So yeah, it's just a bit of an unfortunate round there by Altitude Zero. Just, I think, being a little bit too aggressive. It's good to be aggressive, but that was just too aggressive. And there needs to be aggression with a plan. And
now
still
they
useful.
have a pistol round of their own, so they're going to have to try and do something out of nothing. Some armor and utility invested into this round. So, I mean, these kills from Valve are quite expensive, especially looking at the economy, looking at a double save here for Altitude Zero, depending on what happens now. So, one player down. Wolfer managing to get out of there. Voigtler down to 19 HP. It's already a lot of damage done so far onto these pistol players, but will they be able to recover something? We've got 1 player and actually the bomb in connector. Some control there in middle, some potentially, going cat, trying to get a kill here in snipers, but X-Astros are just playing this so slowly, but somehow Arkan opens up a kill there onto Sergeant Ross. Not expecting a player there, but again, Vorulfer just in the position to take heads left, right, and center. He's on his 3rd, and at this stage, Altitude Zero down to 2 players with only Deagles and quite a little bit of HP here. And Arkan actually down to 35 HP, and the sound cue is given away.
Not like this.
Vorulfer is going to be expecting this. He's waiting for it, just holding quite a close angle here, waiting for it. Ooh, but National gets the 2nd, so he opens up the A site here. He opens up a chance, and now X-Astros, they're expecting the A site. They're rotating around, but instead the bomb is walking onto B. This is such a swing around here from Altitude Zero, somehow, some way. Unfortunately, Natural goes down, but they still are thinking that this is an A site. They're still investing into the investigation that is on A, and instead the bomb's going to be going down on B. So a good bit of money here for Altitude Zero. That's going to be great for the next couple of rounds. And now Arkan left in a 1v2. We'll see what he can do this round.
Hopper's still thinking it's A?
Are we still thinking it's A?
Guys, sound 2020. Do you not have good headphones? Oh no, not like this. Oh no. X-Astros, not like this. 2020 sound. Oh no.
They're going to be kicking themselves for that. Now, they've just given a round away to Altitude Zero.
And a round that shouldn't have gone Altitude Zero's way.
Absolutely not. I mean, I was saying, at max, you're getting a bomb plunge here, you're getting some money in your bank account, but surely this is not a round for Altitude Zero.
I was like, Arkan, your objective's done. You've just got the bomb done. That's all you needed to do. But he lands up winning that round. Oh, sound. Not like this. Oh man, how did that player that was window not hear it towards B? Oh man.
That's going to be
I feels bad right now. I feels bad for X-Astros.
I'm sure they feels bad just as much as, and unfortunately, that's going to be the tie-up here for Altitude Zero. That's going to be a bit of a head scratcher later for X-Astros, but never mind that. They still have a lot of rounds to deal with. They still have Altitude Zero to deal with, who have just been able to buy up, and they're going to be taking that fire that's just been lit under them, and they're going to take that straight to the face of Voigtler, and potentially another kill onto Shackles, but he manages to stay alive and instead take down Sabri. So, some information, some kills traded either side, and at this stage, both teams trying to figure out what's happening. Damage done basically equally on either side, and guns are looking a little bit more in favor of X-Astros. I mean, they've got the AKs and the rifles, whereas Altitude Zero, they have 2 Galils. But map control, I mean, look at this. They have middle control at this stage. They have some B control. Ooh!
Full middle control, but Valfra is like, get out of my middle.
Natural
That's my middle.
Down there. So unfortunately, that's some control given away, but they can still recover it. They still got 2 players here. Bitten and Arkan trying to catch back what they've just been able to get a hold of. But still, no kills really found, no information really on Astra's whereabouts. Just a Varulfer, who is going to be able to be traded here. Beautiful shot there from Arkan.
Arkan says my medal now.
It's just give and take. It's swing left, right, and center, and at this stage, that's exactly what's happening in the game. So Zenix here, get some information. I mean, surely you should have heard that player there in snipers. So
I don't know. They don't hear a lot of things.
Bomb is going to be recovered, and now it looks like a B-side take. It's 10 seconds left on the clock. We're really cutting this close here if we're altitude 0, but
yeah, I don't think they have time. I don't think they have time.
I don't think it's 6 seconds left on the
no
clock.
time.
You still got a player.
Unless they kill the CT. Oh my gosh! And they just win it out. Just
1 second on the clock, and somehow altitude 0 get it.
Oh my goodness! It's just downhill from now, from X-Astras.
Just break that down for me.
Just everything, just X-Astras, you know. It's just the luck is not on their side. First the bomb, they just went to the wrong side, not hearing that bomb tick. That round was in their favor. They had to just keep on holding for 1 second. And they rush Hopper and they kill him. Oh man. It's just the luck, this CS timing sometimes. It's just not on their side, unfortunately, right now for X-Astras.
USPs that they can work with, and I mean they're doing some damage. Tapping away at Shackles.
Okay, Shackles. Okay,
he
Shackles.
Spray transfers onto the last 2 remaining players they're pushing from Palace, and you can just see it. It's such a shutdown. I mean, they literally have him down to 6 HP, but they could not shoot that last bullet into him. So unfortunately now, the chance that X-Astras just managed to create is going to be taken away. So Altitude 0 with all 5 of their players, they take their 11th round. And now, I mean, look at the money here. It's falling apart for X-Astras.
Yeah, they are very low in cash right now, and they need that util, and yeah, they're going to opt to buy. They want to do it. I think they just want to close it out, and oh man, just everything just going right in Altitude 0's corner right now. Shackles hitting that 3k. I mean, he shouldn't have won that 6 HP, and he just transfer sprays to both the guys' Palace and just gets a double kill. I mean, that's insane.
Manages to get out of there relatively alive.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 HP alive, but still alive and still counting, which means that there's not a gun dropped. And Altitude 0, they're building their bank, and they're making this round gap even further. Voidclip taking down Hopper there. So still 3 players on the CT side holding this A side. Sabery taking down 2. Managing to stay alive. Damage being dealt, but Vorfa is there to back them up as they finally stop this A push here. So down to Shackles and Voidclip to try and recover this round. Bomb has been dropped towards ramp, so trying to recover that might be scary because you might be seen here. We can see the CTs. Oh, they're going to edge forward, and they're actually going to be able to see the bomb. So information is there, and now it's just down to Shackles. He has to recover the bomb, but I'm not sure if Sideros did see it there. It was just around the corner, but the molly is going to stop it nonetheless. Shackles in a 1v4 for potentially the 12th round for Altitude 0. Has to do a lot if he wants to try and get it. Ooh, just etching around the corner there. Ooh, with the one-tap takes down Vorfa, and he can find Sergeant Ross. Then this is an opener. He's down to 24 HP. He swings. Oh, but the timing is not there. X-Astras, they take the 10th round. I mean, that was looking great.
Yeah,
I mean, that was onto the AWP.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I believed, but X-Astras is playing that perfectly. You know, that support play by Volfra, just getting that flash in for the CT that was close A ramp, and they're all blind, and he sprays and he gets them down, and yeah, it was just a very good A hold there by X-Astras. Just using their teammates perfectly, and the util, the support util, just on point there that round.
And now, looking to try and tie it out. You got Altitude 0 with some Mac 10s and AKs here, but this is sort of a last-ditch effort. This is sort of a last-ditch buy.
It's a blind battle. It's the battle of the blinds.
Just bring blind back. You can give us 2 cents on how it happens, but both teams, as I say, that equal fights. But Voidclip through the smoke takes down Hopper there.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, if you give them an inch, they take it for a mile. Altitude 0, they're opening it up. Still a 3-on-3 as Varolfa takes down Shackles, but again,
teammate.
discipline.
that's just map awareness, not knowing where your teammates are, unfortunately.
Oh, I feel like there's a little bit of a shakiness here from Altitude 0. I mean, to put aside the team damage there, I feel like they're losing players one by one. And I mean, they're getting the trades, but it's starting to fall apart. I mean, look at this.
Yeah,
You've got one
it's
player
very
towards.
split.
Yeah, exactly. You've got one player towards TV room, a player towards catch here. Sorry, but they're alone. They have no backup here.
Yep.
So I mean, 30 seconds left on the clock. Potentially get this B bomb side if you can find Zinix.
Ooh, the timing.
He's not gonna expect Zinix here. Are we gonna expect him here?
Nope.
No, the bomb's gonna be dropped, and now it's all down to Bitten in a 1v3. He's getting sandwiched at this stage. I mean, you've got players literally on every corner of him at this point. Wherever he goes, there's someone waiting for him. Ooh, okay. Once again, Varolfa just meeting AK one taps here, getting taken out.
Yeah, he's taking it. He's taking those AK one tap shots.
Time, thankfully, is on the side of X-Astra, so they get the 11th round. They tie it out.
Yeah, I feel Altitude 0 just looking a little bit lost, you know, when they have a plan in the beginning of the round, and as soon as, you know, teammates start getting knocked off one by one, they look a little bit lost towards that late game. They don't know what to do. Like you said, you know, they were so split, those two players, one B and one catwalk. In a situation like that, you should group up together and just go together. You know, you have better chances of the two of you fighting together than one of you trying to fight two, you know, CTs on a site or you know, trying to clear a site, rather just, you know, stack together as the two Ts and push onto a site together, so that the trade possibility is there. Where, like you said, you know, Zinix in such a sneaky position there, and they're not expecting him there, and he gets the bomb down, and then, you know, the one teammate's on the other side of the map, and that's the round over, unfortunately.
So I mean, you're talking about, you know, that money situation for Altitude 0, and once again, they have to take a couple of pistols around Bitten, as he was able to save that AK, but it's going to be a hero AK buy this time around, and
Glock
have
power.
to play this so carefully if they want anything from this round. Even if it's just a couple of kills, maybe even a bomb plant to just try and sort out their economy. Either way, some good control here. They've got a bit towards ramp, they've got a bit towards apps here, but
Glock's
still no investment.
I mean, I once Glocked 2 B-ball. They want SMGs, and I had just Glock no armor, so I mean, it works. Just gotta hit the shots.
That's in the situation, you know, of a Shaz, but will they be able to do the same sort of situation here? They have to try and stick together. They have to try and be careful here, because X-Astras, they've got the rifles. Yeah. They've got the positioning. Oh, Sabery just getting kills. Shackles, actually, with the recovery. Takes down Sergeant Ross, but unfortunately he's not going to be in a position to recover that rifle. It's going to have to fall back, get out of that position, and try and recoup with your team. Looking like a B-take this time around, but still two players from X-Astras holding this B-bomb side. Holding either side, really. They're not really moving. They're not giving Altitude 0 any sort of opener at this stage. But we'll have to
playing very disciplined.
Yeah.
X-Astras not making any mistakes.
Now, only with pistols, they're going to try and take this B-bomb side here away from what will be their first point of contact, which is Hopper. But his teammate rotating back in the form of Zinix. They're just going to be running into a crossfire at this stage. They'd have to try and hit the shot. Shackles manages to take down Zinix, but it's still Hopper in this broken position, and he's doing the damage. Natural down to 7 HP. He's swinging. He's taking the kills. He takes the third, and then he takes the 12th round here for X-Astras. Beautifully played.
Yep. You can just see X-Astras, you know, learning from their mistakes and trying not to, you know, let Altitude 0 run away with it. And they're just playing so disciplined now and trying not to make as many mistakes as, you know, they can. And it's good. It's good that they're playing very disciplined and not over pushing and just playing together, having those cheeky little crossfires.
And holding it till the end of the round. So beautiful work here from X-Astras. I mean, it was a bit of a save round here for Altitude 0, so this is going to be the first taste of metal, but this is a crucial round. This economy is not nice at this stage. If they lose this, this is going to be a tough recovery, and now, yeah, with the stack from X-Astras, they lose natural. They lose a rifle, and every rifle at this stage is just even worse because of the economy that they have, or rather, should I say, that they don't have. Ooh, bitten on
Gets
the edge
one.
there, takes down Hopper. So AK is going to be recovered, but it's still a trade on either side. It's still a 4-on-4. Can swing either way, as we've seen time and time again, but it's going to depend on who can get the drop on their team, on the opponent, sorry. And now, through the smoke, just etching around it. Varulfa, he takes down Bitten, and he's looking for more. He's looking for a third, in fact, as he still has yet to be traded. And now Voidclip and Shackles, they have to go B. Zenix is going to hear that. He's going to fall back, and he's just playing time. He's just waiting for his teammates to rotate around and making this so much harder for Altitude Zero. I mean, the Molotov is going to get him out of position, and and ultimately, 2 players from X-Ashes are going to be going down. Voidclip and Shackles left alive, trying to get this 12th round, but they have to play this so carefully. Voidclip down to 19 HP. Play together and be careful. Ooh, the Molotov might once again force players out of position here. Down to a 1v1 Savory. Gets the second kill. Gets the 13th round. It's a beautiful change up here for X-Astros, and now this is trouble for Altitude Zero.
Yeah, I mean, that round, Balfour just playing that fantastic, you know, using that smoke to his advantage, and he gets the cat player, and then he gets to the player that's underneath window, and he just did his job middle there, you know. And yeah, it looked like it was going Altitude Zero's way, but then X-Ashes just with that retake, everyone hitting their shot, and yeah, very well played there by them. Everything going their way now. The bad luck's gone out the window, Ace.
But once again, Altitude Zero, they are dependent on their loss bonus. Yep. After this, it's just going to be riding that loss bonus into potentially what could be your breaking point, but we'll see. X-Ash just 3 rounds away from taking this first map, and they're definitely hungry and looking for it. Oh, Sergeant Ross taking the kill there onto Arkan, so that's a ramp pick. That's some information, and that's a bit of a pace stopper there for Altitude Zero. So Bomb getting recovered, etching towards his A side. It looks like they're still going to be setting up for this A side take. Bitten in middle might be able to flank it around if he doesn't get caught out here by the AWP. The pushes here from Altitude Zero onto the A side. Sage, Sergeant Ross and Sabery gonna do well to put up a bit of a defense here, but now ultimately, yeah, Sergeant Ross left alive around the corner, but his teammates are there. He's just hitting the shots. At this stage, Altitude Zero, they're just not getting the kills. I mean, they've gotten an opener or 2, but they're not capitalizing off of it.
Took too slow. You know, when you get that pick on air like that, you need to push it. You can't give the CTs time to come up that connector, to come towards CT, to come towards jungle. You need to push up and either take CT or take jungle control. You can't just stand, you know, Tetris and back a ramp, because you're giving the CTs time to basically retake and regain that control, unfortunately.
Now, Pistols, once again, we were talking about it, the dangerous economy. They only have the Eagles to try and stop X-Ashes from getting match points and potentially the first map win. A dangerous situation to be in, quite a gamble that they have to take here with the Eagles. I mean, with the economy that they don't really have much other choice.
Yep.
So going into this, now you have to start and wonder, where can Altitude Zero go with it? 5v5, still not a single player dropped, and they're just crawling towards this B. They're just trying to get an opener, but Bomb's
looks
still
like they just want to try to get Bomb down, yeah. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing then.
You've got 2 players towards ramp, you've got 3 players towards apps here, and you're giving sound cues away, so potentially maybe faking it. But Bomb has not been recovered on either side, so what are we doing? Are we just going for kills?
Well,
We're just
what's
going
the plan?
for money?
I'm very confused as to what the plan of action is.
Still a minute left on the clock. Bomb still has not yet been recovered. That means Altitude Zero, they still have not yet made up their mind about where they want to go. And at this stage, now we're pulling back. We've got 40 seconds left on the clock by the time we get to the bomb. So where do we go with this? It looks like it's going to be a B bomb side take. With Eagles only, they have to try and take out Hopper and Zenix out of their position. But you've already got a rotation here from Volfa.
Mid to B split.
With Eagles only, they have to hit the shots. They have to get it. Otherwise, they have no chance of stopping X-Astros from getting their match point and the utility there. They're just not getting an opener. They're literally not getting a chance, and it's all down to Bitten in a 1v5. His position has been known. Ooh! He's going to do well to take a shot there onto Zinix, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. So match point for X-Astrus. It's
I
not
don't know.
looking
That
great.
round was very weird. I don't know what the game plan was. You know, if you're going to do a fake like that, someone needs to take a bomb on one of the sides. You know, and that them leaving that bomb towards TV room, you just saw they had to fall back towards B, and it just took too long in order to hit that B bomb site. And yeah, he's just been out of position, unfortunately.
And now, Altitude, they have no other choice but to play for that draw and play for that overtime. To see if they can do it, they have to get the shots here, they have to get the openers, they have to hold on to this. It's a lot of work to do, and quite a bit of pressure to do it in. Oh, a jumping Archon is going to be taking some bullets here from Zinix, so down to 50 HP he goes. Ultimately now, it's just a waiting game. X-Astrus, they still have a lot of time to deal with, they still have to hold this. Just probably etching around the wall, I guess. Now. Ooh, Saber with the information, Varolfo with the pick. It's just going well for X-Astrus, but ooh, the flash there, they might be able to catch a CT of guard, but the teammates are there, they're just holding their backs. Natural gonna do well to take down 2 players on the A side, open it up, but the bomb is still all the way to TV room. So as he takes 3, this is an opener, but he still has to hold the side single-handedly for his teammate, which is still to rotate around through Palace this time around. Oh, utility. It seems like Natural is just doing all the work now for Altitude 0, 3 kills to his name. And Shackles now with the AWP and the bomb in hand, still trying to get onto this A site with rotations coming through. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Hopper and Zinix to try and hold on for the win here for X-Astrus. But that being said, Altitude 0, they need this round. Especially if they want to stay in it for the first map win.
Definitely, but no.
Yeah.
Natural not in the greatest of positions though, is.
No, not at all. And unfortunately, I mean, if I'm going to be going down, it is going to be planted for him at this stage, but they still have to hold on to this. An AWP and an AK in hand to try and stop X-Astrus from getting their win. Zinix and Hopper, we've seen what they can do before. Let's see if they can do it once again for the win this time around.
So much of smoke on the site.
Not a single player has been spotted just yet, but they're getting the kills. Natural finally goes down with his 4K, but now it's all down to Shackles with an AWP. He has to take a page out of Sergeant Ross's book, and he's just playing around the corners. He's getting the no-scope. He's getting the 12th round for Altitude 0.
Yeah, I think Shackles just played that perfectly buying that time, unfortunately. And yeah, there was a good recovery there by Altitude 0. A round that they desperately needed, and they got it. And looks like this is a... Is this an OT game? Is this an OT game?
I mean, it might be looking that way, especially with X-Astrus down to the Deagles.
An OT game was 16-14 in favor of X-Astrus. Let's wait and see.
Well, I like this now from X-Astrus. They're taking the Deagles straight to middle. They're trying to get some information here, trying to get a bit of aggression going through. Ooh, Hopper! The kill onto Voidclip, the kill onto Arcade, the Deagles. What is happening?
Who needs guns?
Who needs guns? Just give them Deagles.
Who needs rifles?
So, I mean, Bitten, he trades out 1, but it's still down to a 3v4 in favor of X-Astrus. That is, if we're just purely looking on numbers. 2 AKs recovered. This is looking pretty good. But can they hold on to this? Bomb is still top middle. They have not yet spotted it because they didn't go fully up middle. I mean, they got the kills. They fell back. They're keeping the numbers advantage. But now, will they be expecting Natural here in snipers? You can see Sergeant Ross. Ooh, he's going to spot him out. But with the swing, Natural takes Sergeant Ross down. So it puts it back onto a 3v3. All players of X-Astrus on that B bomb site. And Natural, he has so much information. He can get some A site control here. He can get the A site potentially. Who has to be careful here because Deagle's on every single corner waiting to take you out. And just like that, Forfo with a headshot takes Natural out, puts us down to 2v3. And X-Astrus somehow, some way are making these Deagles work. 30 seconds left on the clock. Altitude 0 trying to take some pace towards this A side, trying to take it and finish off to get their 13th. But they still have 3 players from X-Astrus, and at the moment, I mean, they're still towards B. They're expecting this, but with the smokes going down, the bomb going down, this is a retake now for X-Astrus that might actually be winnable. They've got a kit in the hands of Hopper, and they've got some good positioning here. 2 players from CT, a player from Connector, looking at that win, looking at that 16th. Ooh, through the box. That's going to give away Bitten's position for the players in CT. They know, they've heard it. Continues to be bitten. Trying to stay alive. You're trying to keep it in the game.
Doesn't expect a second.
Gets the trade, and once again it's down to Shackles, but he's getting out of position. He's getting flushed out of position. And ultimately he goes down, but with the time that we have left, are we going to get it?
Yeah, he's got a kit. He's got a kit.
This is going to be the win for X.
Yes, the win.
My goodness.
Yeah, they didn't need rifles, man. They just needed those deagles, and they just popped heads that round.
You said it yourself. Who needs rifles, right?
But that's the thing is, I think Altitude Zero just looking a little bit lost. You know, even that round, you know, against the pistols. You know, when you down numbers, you need to group up and you need to hit somewhere together, unfortunately. But, you know, everyone just going one by one, and they just looked very lost. They didn't know where they should go A, where they go B, like, what's the plan, boys, you know? And, yeah, just when as soon as you hesitate like that, you give the CTs a lot of control in order to get, like, information and rotate accordingly, and that's what they did. So, yeah, very well played there by X-Astrus to close that out.
They did really, really well that round. And I mean, ultimately, the first map going to X-Astrus, but there's still many, many maps to play. Well, specifically 2. So for those of you who are still watching, please stay with us. We still got a lot of CS coming in this grand final for the Inkosi Cup Week 6. So stay with us, and we'll be back right after the short break. Welcome back, everybody. It is week 6 of the Inkosi Super Cup. So, my goodness gracious, so far, Asterisk on their second win for the
Yeah,
night. They're just going it at this
yeah,
point. I
looking
mean,
very strong, looking very composed and strong as a
absolutely.
team.
And I mean, they're switching it up and they're staying adaptive and they're staying dynamic, which is
Yeah,
exactly what you need to be doing. So, I mean, looking at the schedule that we have so far and what has been happening so far, at the moment, we're going to be going into the second map of the grand final. You can see Asterisk, they're just having
yeah,
a field day, taking that first map 16-6, going into the second 16-12, and now potentially the grand final.
yeah.
Will it be theirs or will
And
it be
this is
Altitude
Ash's
Zero's?
pick as well, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is
Yeah,
going to be a
no,
tough one for Altitude Zero because Ash is picking this map out, and they've obviously done the homework that they've needed to on this map. So it's going to be a difficult one yet again for Altitude Zero.
So from your side, with the changes, I mean, definitely Asterisk, they're looking to take it. If you look at the leaderboard, so
Yeah,
far they've just been racking up the wins left, right, and center. They've been just going at it, and now, I
yeah,
mean, once again, you can see that they played
uncontested
11 games.
actually.
Honestly, just
Yeah,
uncontested. I mean, we've got this week left, we've got the next, and then the
yeah, we got
last.
2 more weeks left, and look at Ashes with the 27-point lead, and yeah, I mean they're in the runnings for that spot in Mzansi.
They've all but secured their spot, and at this stage, I mean, for the rest of the teams, they can look at taking the second, so that they will still qualify for that promotion match into the Mzansi Esports League. But I think definitely Ashes, they have put in the work. They've come back week after week, and they've
Yeah,
definitely dedicated themselves to securing their spot. And you can see it. It shows on the points, especially, and it shows in how they've been playing tonight. I mean, we've mentioned it. It's
yeah.
literally as if they are evolving before our eyes, and it's beautiful to watch week by week as they just come back with more. They just stay dynamic. They just stay surprising us and their opponents.
Yeah, they always have an answer for their opponents, and they're just very adaptive play. And yeah, just playing very much together and individually stepping up as players.
Absolutely. And I mean, they're just taking it round and round. So at the moment, I think for Altitude Zero, I mean, talking about this dust, what do you think would be important for them?
I mean, Dust 2 is a very equal map. Both it's C sided, it's T sided. It just depends on which team takes the most control, and also it comes down to angels. Dust 2 is one of those maps where you just gotta hit your shots. It's such an aim dually map, and I just feel like Extra's firepower is a little bit stronger right now. Their crossfires are much better, and their supportive play is much better. On that T side where Altitude Zero lacked that on that Mirage. Not flashing teammates in. It was a lot of solo play and solo picking where on the T side Extras were flashing teammates in. They were peeking together. They were executing as a unit, and yeah, that's what's going to help them on Dust 2, pretty much.
Absolutely. And if they can continue this sort of pace, we might be seeing an immediate 2-0 win. But as
Yeah,
you mentioned, it's never over till it's over. So,
yeah.
I mean, from your side, we can see Altitude Zero starting off on that CT side, with the change there to the B bomb doors. How do you think that they should be playing this?
Yeah, so it's very hard right now, Dust 2. A lot of teams in the new meta, you play kind of a 2-3, two towards B and then three towards A, and then, kind of solo B and then one solo mid. And kind of want to get that long control, leave one pit and fall out and take top control, or fall out and play the off angle on towards a bomb site, and one pushes towards mid. So then it's a 2-1-2. Mid
Oh,
by the time it's mid round. So yeah, it's this map's a very rotating map. You got to always be moving on Dust 2 because the rotations are so far from one another from bomb site A to B. You constantly want to be on the move and getting that right information so that you're rotating your players, at the right times. You don't want to get caught off guard as well, with that mid to B on the cards of the T's, and yeah, you got to play it to perfection pretty much on Dust 2. There's not much forgiveness and stuff like that. You got to kind of play smart and use your CTs
precise,
correctly. Yeah,
basically.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to be precise. You need to be preemptive, especially from Altitude Zero's point of view. I mean, they've they've basically been at the mercy of X-Astrases and their tempo. They've taken it and they've changed it time and time again. And ultimately, X-Astras, they've stayed dynamic to the point where Altitude Zero are left to wonder, is it an A, is it a B? I don't know. We don't have the information. And at this stage, if X-Astras focus their energies onto, a quick B take and a quick A take, depending on how Altitude Zero are set up, as you mentioned with the B bomb side changes and with the change of this map, it is definitely possible to try and deter that, but you need to be prepped for it, especially with the utility that they can use. I mean, those flashbangs on B from tunnels, they always catch me off guard.
Exactly,
and my stretches. You can completely
and this is that map,
this
is that map where you're talking about the faking. Dust 2 is one of those maps where you can get that top control, you can fake a mid to B and then you can hit an A, or you can hit a mid to B, or you can, hit a long. It's just such one of those maps where it's so unpredictable.
So we've got 3 players from Altitude Zero towards long. They're trying to get some initial control here, getting into a play, into pit, potentially getting a free kill here, but Natural down to 13 HP. So far, the shots are just not connecting for Altitude Zero. As I say, that Shackles with a beautiful one-tap onto Zinix. That's an opener. That's a potential chance. That is, if you don't take into account Altitude's... if you don't take into account that X-Astras are then taking short control. They're going to be able to get the site. They're going to be able to potentially plant the bomb. That is, I mean, just look at the one tap here from the USPs. These long-range pistols are putting in the work. And now Volfa and Hopper down to a 2v3. I mean, you've got Natural getting very low. They just need to connect the shots, and somehow Hopper managing to keep his teammate alive. But they need to connect the last one. Volfa down to 2 HP each. It's a 1-on-1, 2 HP each. And Volfa, he's going to win it out. He's going to win the first round for X-Astras.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the USP's con is that it works perfectly long range on the pistol round, but as soon as it becomes to close range, the Glocks are in favor, and that's basically what X-Astras did. They pushed into, the CTs that were on that ramp, and they pushed right into them and got those Glock kills, and very well played there by Balfour, getting that 3K.
I mean, it got close. They literally both had 2 HP.
It was very close,
Couldn't have cut it closer, but now, first round, so SMGs and AKs and Galils in the hands of X-Astras. Altitude Zero have actually opted to force up to potentially look at a conversion here. But looking at this, I mean, maybe a mid to B split here, or maybe going through CT here, we might be going into a bit of a different split. Just at the moment, X-Astras trying to get some control, trying to figure out where exactly they want to go. Smoking off that corner position, Arkan, he's left to just stay guessing. And X-Astras, they're just taking this so slow and methodical. Bomb still has not yet been invested. As you can see, Zinix just holding it and waiting for any sort of flank here, which could be Void Clip. As he gets taken down, that's the defenses of Altitude Zero dropping one by one. And the opportunity for X-Astras starting to rise. Now, looking at this, I mean, A site seems to be the optimal position here, especially with Volfa taking down Natural. Only Shackle to try and stop them here, to try and stop this push here from X-Astras. He's going to be good to take down one, but the trade is immediately there, and Bitten on 2 HP himself gets taken out of the picture. So, second round for X-Astras, buying up the AKs here, and now that investment from Altitude Zero is going to grant them nothing.
Yeah, and that was just very well played by X-Astras, just taking that so, like you said, slow and methodical, and just not giving Altitude Zero anything. Just holding angles and basically waiting for them to push, and played that to perfection. X-Astras just waiting for them to make the mistakes, and that's what they did.
That's what they did, and that's what they might continue to do. So now, Altitude Zero trying to get an early frag here. 5 players going through long doors. It's Vorofit to try and stop them. He's going to be good for 1, but that's going to be the trade for Altitude Zero. They're going to be able to get an AK, and now X-Astras, they've got the A side. They're going to get the bomb down. They're going to get into positions, and Zinix is going to see a lot of CTs rushing at him. He's going to be good to take down 1 and do quite a bit of damage to the second and third. With that Molotov, the SMG is just looking for the heads there of the Altitude Zero players, but ultimately they have recovered an AK, they've recovered a Galil,
and a Galil,
and they've done a little bit of damage, so that should be a save coming through here for Altitude Zero.
Yep. I mean, they went into that round with just USPs and I think like a few P250s, and them walking out with an AK and a Galley is kind of in their favor for Altitude Zero, because this is going to be their buy round, so they get a save. Natural will be able to save that 3-1, you know, because he won't need to buy up an M4. He just keeps that AK and he buys a bit of util, so he's going to have a bit of a nice bank saved up and void clip as well.
So now, going into this round, first proper buy round here for Altitude Zero. They're going to be able to get all the rifles and utility they want. Whereas on the side of X Ashes, they can do the exact same. What do you think needs to happen for Altitude Zero in this round for them to actually take it?
I think Altitude Zero need to take control somewhere. You either need to take long, leave one in that ditch area, and then leave one towards top and rotate towards B. So you have two on B mid game and one in middle, and then two towards A.
Just potentially hold that control. And now look at this. 3 players from Altitude Zero stacked on the short position. Unfortunately, the smoke going to be missing. So,
that's Molly.
Asterisk now, utility is just not in their favor. Both the Mollies from Altitude Zero and now the smoke's just not hitting their mark. So a bit of a time waster here, a bit of investment lost, but still a lot of time left. 1 minute 14 on the clock, and they're starting to try and get some control here. Ooh, through the smoke. Voidclips finds a kill there onto Hopper, and through the smoke again, he finds a kill onto Sabery. So this beautiful work. And now, X-Astros on the back foot here. To try and still stop Altitude Zero. Ooh, Arkin gonna get caught off guard there. Taken out, unfortunately not hitting the shot, and his position given away. That means an AWP in the hands of Vorolfer. Sorry, Sergeant Ross. So, with that being said, A site, B site, still not in favor of X-Astros. They still have not yet been able to capture anything. And at this stage, it looks like it's going to be an A split, which might be a bit of a problem, as all 3 players of Altitude Zero are here and waiting to stop them. The 4th rotating through from B, but Altitude Zero, they're ready and waiting for this retake. At this stage, bomb going down. Shackle's pretty close, trying to get an early frag. But utility is slowing them down. So, he's going to be very close to try and kill this. Void Clip was going to take a kill there onto Vorolfer. Only 2 players left. Sergeant Ross and Zinix, they need to hit the shots if they want to stop Altitude Zero from getting their first round on the board. Zinix takes down 2, takes down 3, swings! And looks for the 4th. Shackle's the only man left alive here for Altitude Zero. Does well to dink Sergeant Ross off of the corner, but what more can he do in the situation? Time is running out. And Sergeant Ross ultimately getting the last kill and the 4th round for X-Astros. So, Altitude Zero, they're just not... I mean, they had the opportunity there. They had 3 players in short.
Yeah, 3 players in short, and I don't know if that was a... They lacked a util or something, but... yeah, that's crazy. I think Zinek's just playing that perfectly and hitting the shots, man. That was a very good flash, though, by Sergeant Ross from that long position, which helped Zinix as well. I think it blinded a few of those top players. Perfect flash from him. So, yeah, very well played there by X-Astros. Just playing so well as a team and just calming and being so synergized right now.
And at the moment, Altitude Zero relegated to pistols. Unfortunately, their first buy not going the way that they would have wanted, but... potentially these deagles might be what they need. Once again, we said, just give them deagles. We'll see what they can do with them.
Throw your flashbang. Throw your flashbang and peek. You need that information, fam.
And now, here's the push of X-Astros, the deagle swinging, and at this stage, they've only found 1. They make that find 2. Saber and Sergeant Ross go down, so that initial push is shut down. The bomb has been captured.
If he got that shot.
At a 3v3. If he got that shot, that might have been it for X-Astros at this stage.
Would have been mad.
But once again, these deagles just doing the work that they shouldn't be. I mean, somehow Altitude Zero making opportunities for them, but see if they can catch and hold on to this. They have recovered an AK. They have recovered the bomb. Will they be able to hold on to it? At this stage, X-Astros, they're looking a little bit perturbed. They don't know what to do. Where has this round gone? Where do they go from here?
I'd opt to go A. I wouldn't go B. It's such a small choke point, and
if they had the bomb, that would have been an opportunity, but it's dropped firmly on the B side.
I didn't see that actually.
So now they have to recover this. They have no choice. They have to go B. Vorolfer, ooh, through the wall and continues it as he takes down 2 players on the B bomb side, all down to Voidclip with a deagle. No rifle to be recovered just yet. Just behind the smoke, he's etching to try and do something this round still. That opportunity they've created, unfortunately, has been taken away by Borufa. He's just hitting the shots, and now Void Club trying to stay alive, potentially recover an AK, do some damage, get some exit frags. But
Yeah.
Borufa is just too quick. He's finishes off
Who
with
needs
a
to
3K.
enter with a rifle when you could just enter with an AWP like that?
Gets every single kill.
Gets all three. Just that's insane. Very well played there by him. Just hitting those AWP shots, man. Man's crazy on that AWP. Hitting all the shots that he needs to and just getting those entries and picks and yeah, another round that X-Ashes just pulled through. A round that's not supposed to be in their favor, and they do. They just play it well as a team.
And they just keep going at it, and at this stage it's looking quite troublesome for Altitude Zero. Once again, taking a bit of a long stack here, trying to get some initial control, but X-Ashes, they're just opting to take some middle control here. We've got 3 players towards here, getting set up for the smokes and flashes. And Altitude Zero, they have no information at this stage. They have no sort of sound cues other than what's happening right now in middle. But no players spotted, thanks to the utility used by X-Ashes.
Smoke fest in the middle area.
All the utility in middle right now. And now Altitude Zero still trying to get their first round, still trying to stop X-Ashes from stringing more rounds together. 5-on-5, not a single player dropped just yet, and now the time is starting to run out. Shackle's in a beautiful position, he takes down 2. Looks for the third, but Borufa is too quick as he finally gets the trade. Oh, still down to a 4v3, and X-Ashes still need to find an opening into this A site. Ultimately, it's all down to Borufa in a 1v3. AWP is already holding and waiting for his angles. He does have the bomb in hand, but he only has 30 seconds left on the clock, so A site is only really his possible only choice. Now, so close to the Smoker's Void Clip. Looking for that no scope there, but 20 seconds left on the clock. Bob is still yet to cross the sights, and that headshot is going to stop the push here from X-Ashes, and ultimately first round for Altitude Zero, which is great.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate there by X-Ashes is not clearing your corners, unfortunately. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't clear your corners. Shackles gets a lovely 2K, and yeah, that's just very unfortunate. I'm pretty sure they'll learn from that, though.
Yeah, that's the first round for Altitude Zero, and it's because of that one little corner that's not being checked.
Yeah, pretty much, and got to check those corners on long, whether it's mid-round, early round, late round. You always have to check corners long because there's always potentially one person lurking towards long.
And now, Altitude Zero, for the first time, they've actually taken some aggression here. They got tunnels control, which means they've got quite a bit of information that this is going to be an A-take.
Yep.
Got a player heading towards lowers, potentially just trying to flank around X-Ashes, get them caught off guard once again, but
now you can't push too much.
Not at all. Ooh, he's just going to spot out Borufa. And he's holding his trigger discipline, so X-Ashes still not going to be checking this position, so Hopper might be the second to fall. But he's going to try and get onto short, and he's not expecting Bitten in the corner here. Ooh! And now X-Ashes, they've lost 2 players and not in a position to trade it. Utility is still going through, a lot of damage being dealt, and they're not able to just yet get onto site. But as I say, that Sabri finally chimes back and takes down Natural. They get the bomb planted. They get a potential foothold in this round. Ooh, but out of cover, throwing Molotovs might get you killed. So, one trade there. Ultimately, Sabri taking the last, and he's going to get taken out of the round. We'll be careful there. There's mollies, they hurt.
That burns. Also, you can't be peeking out with a molly like that, Zenix.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's no other way to put that. Just timing at its finest, and now we've got a bit of a change here. Now Altitude Zero seeming to start stringing rounds together of their own. I mean, that long control there was beautiful to a point. X-Ashes really just didn't have a chance.
Yeah, I feel maybe X-Ashes need to start, they've taken that top control quite a few times as well. Fake it out and hit a mid to B. Try force the rotation towards B and then maybe hit a mid to B. force one of the B players to come out of B, and then it's a solo B play, and yeah, I feel like they're just not doing enough of that.
And now with only pistols in their hands, trying to take some short control here, but only one flash to their name to try and get them into this A side, whereas Altitude Zero, they have all the utility, and Voidclip has all the support he needs. He takes down one Arc and takes one for himself as well, but Hopper and Voroful left only with the pistols, trying to go for an early plant here, is going to be able to get it. Yeah. So that's money. Ooh, and that's a kill for Hopper. He's down to a 1v3. Unfortunately, he's getting sandwiched, but that's great money now for X-Astrus.
That's objective done for the round, When you're on an eco and you get bombed down, that's always a bonus for you. And getting the bomb down is kind of the objective, but winning the round is obviously the bonus. So, yeah, objective done and extra money gained towards the T's there. So, yeah, very well played by X-Astrus that round. Just getting that bomb down, and now they're on the bye.
So now they're on equal footing once again to be able to try and put up a fight for Altitude Zero to try and get their 6.
Yeah, I'd like to see them do a mid to B, to be honest. They haven't done a mid to B.
And at this stage, when you've only got 2 players really dedicated towards that area, Altitude Zero constantly investing 3 players towards A.
B's very weak right now. 2 players against 5. I mean, when you do a B split, it's so hard as the B players.
Play just needs to get some information there. Ooh, through the smoke, there's trades, but somehow, some way, Sergeant Ross with 5 HP takes the kill onto the B site. Natural with a trade of his own takes down Hopper on short, in fact. So trades happening on either side, but so far it's still equal footing for either side. No entries just yet for X-Astrus. No openers. They have some utility that they can use, and looks like they heard you, Shaz. The mid to B might be what it's gonna be. Good Voidclip on the B side to try and stop them, but X-Astrus, I mean, they're not using that smoke.
Yeah.
Which is a great decision because it actually did fail. So just going back to tunnels with the flashes is just going to be down to Voidclip. He has to kill every single player here, or at least waste enough time for his teammates to rotate around and stop this B push. Molotovs are just not going to meet him just yet, and he's going to take down Voroful. He's going to take down Sergeant Ross. So he puts this down to a 3v2 after through the smoke, trying to be cheeky, but the scope is going to give him away. So X-Astrus, they should be able to get the bomb plant here, and they should have an opportunity here. Both sides possible to swing this their way. Now, 2-1-2 retake. The flash unfortunately just misses, so Natural has lost a bit of an opportunity there, and instead X-Astrus, they're trying to get close and personal. It's all down to Sabri, left in a 1v2, and he's just not going to get the shot. Altitude Zero, they hang on, they get their 4th.
Yeah, it's a good retake there by Altitude Zero, but I feel like X-Astrus just played that a little bit too aggressive. There's no need to peek like that. When you plant on B, you have such an advantage as a T. If you just play passive and play little cheeky angles and jiggle peek certain areas, you don't need to take the fight to them. And that player fighting at the door, there's no point of fighting that. Rather just hold back and let them run into the door. Because then as soon as the CTs come out the door, they have to swing left, they have to swing right, they have to check so many angles where you just hold one angle and they basically walk into your crosshair. So, yeah, a bit of a misplay by X-Astrus. Maybe getting a little bit too greedy, trying to get the kills, and I feel like they're just not adapting as well as they were like on Mirage. You got that pick on B, go mid to B. You know that there's only going to be 1 towards B. With the current meta that's been played on Dust 2, it's only 2 towards B and 3 towards A. So why not just hit a quick mid to B? You would have had the bomb site instead of making your life harder, Yeah,
potentially they're not focusing on the information that they're getting at this stage, but I agree with you. X-Astrus, they definitely need to just maybe rework something. I feel like they're getting halted. I mean, they had such a dominant beginning.
Yeah.
And now Altitude Zero just seem to be shutting them down bit by bit. And if that continues on their map pick, it could be quite a basically just a bummer to your mental fortitude there. I mean, if you lose on your map pick, it's always just a bit of a, a bit of an ouch.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Natural in this corner here has to deal with 3 players from X-Astrus. Pop Flash getting set up there by Sergeant Ross. Will it be enough to expect a player here? This could change this round completely. So utility going through. They're trying to get some focus taken away here from Altitude Zero with that aggression. Natural completely free to do what he wants, but he's only going to be good to take down one. So the trades are immediately there for X-Ashes, and they have an opportunity here to take the A site. Still two rotating around. Arkan in this position might be able to connect a shot. Ooh, just spots the head, but of course you can't see it. Peeks around, takes down Sabery. His teammates are doing the work as well, but not as well as what X-Ashes have done. They've taken down 3, they've opened up the A site, and they potentially secured their 6th round. There's only Shackles left in a 1v3. 2 players extremely low. Vorfa and Linux 16 and 12 respectively, but Sergeant Ross with that AWP headshot finishes it off, and there we go. That's a bit of an adaptation that we're talking about.
That's what we needed, you know, that little sandwich onto A after getting that long peak. Then they know, you know, the players can only be on that A site or either in top, and they just basically take the gamble and they win it out there.
So now X-Ashes, they've started to get their momentum back. Now can they continue it? Altitude Zero, on paper, this should definitely not be a round that they could win, but once again, it's the Deagles. We've seen what they can do in the past. Let's see if they can do it again. 3 players towards short here, trying to get a bit of an early pick, but they're not going to be able to find anyone just yet. X-Ashes completely invested in this long take once again. Are they expecting the Deagles? Have to wait and see as they just get ready and set up to take it, but Altitude Zero also just completely invested in holding a site. So it's going to be a 5-on-5 at this stage.
Yeah.
But with the firepower in the hands of X-Ashes, will they be able to take the site? Not sure that they should be expecting 5 players here from Altitude Zero, but potentially when they hear the Deagles, they might know that something's up. Arkan through the smoke here, trying to get close. Orpha is going to be holding it, so he's got his teammates back. And now it's just falling apart here for Altitude Zero. Bitten with a shot there onto Sabery. But what more can they do? Once again, second one tonight. We have a double Kobe. My goodness gracious, and once again, I feel like Zinix got the first one as well, but never mind that. Now it's Voidclip down to a 1v4. What can you do at this stage? Maybe recover a rifle, get some extra money, get another kill?
Yeah, it's going to be tough to recover a rifle. All the X-Ashes players are on that rifle, making sure that he can't grab it.
Yeah, there's not going to be anything really recovered here for Altitude Zero. And the 7th for X-Ashes, that's great.
Yeah. I just love how X-Ashes are just changing up the tempo, and they just, you know, sticking as 5, and they're just rushing as a unit. And yeah, Altitude Zero unfortunately can't stop the 5-man X-Ashes rush.
Well, they've done well to get to this point, right? Because especially with the start that X-Ashes had with that 5-0 lead. So now, once again, unfortunately, their economy is just not favoring them. They're down to pistols again, the Eagles once again. So after this, they will be able to get a buy, and on paper, then it's equal footing. But now they just have to try and swing. They have to try and hit some nutty shots. And it's going to be Bitten.
Oh, and he's blind. The
youthful's too good. But as you mentioned, the flashes, the swings from Vorfa, my goodness. 180 into Voidclip as he takes him out of the picture. So these 3 Deagles here from Altitude Zero are trying to do something here. They're trying to get something happening. But again, Vorfa just a thorn in their side. And just Zero. Sorry, just Natural. Left to try and do something here.
See if he can get another rifle.
Potentially with Vorfa here. Ooh, okay. Takes down Vorfa. He's doing some damage. He's not going to be able to recover the rifle, and unfortunately, there's just way too many players to deal with. So 8th round for X-Ashes. They're looking great to continue this, but Altitude Zero, as we mentioned, now finally they're going to be able to buy up and have that potential.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I feel like Altitude Zero just needs to start taking some control there. You know, they're abusing that long, so maybe try leave too long. I feel like teams aren't just they're not making the read, unfortunately, you know. X-Ashes are just abusing their little weak spots on this map, and they're just not adapting accordingly to it.
I think it's also just a momentum breaker for Altitude Zero because, you know, you generally have 3 players towards A. And A seems to be the site that they're losing the most.
Yeah, it's tough. It's such a hard site to hold, unfortunately.
Ooh. Bit of a sound cue given away there for Shackles, so he should know that something is about to happen.
Yeah, but I mean, look where Shackles is playing. So Natural played there literally the previous round, so it's just not being aware of like where your teammates play. You know, I mean, it's just a team like this will expect someone to be there. As you can see, Hopper looking through that door as if there is no door, right at that corner.
So I mean, he's got his teammate running back here, but Sergeant Ross seems to be a bit of a distraction here. He's throwing some utility towards B, and now you can see Altitude Zero. They're pulling back their forces. They're starting to overthink what is happening here. Okay, we've got some movement towards B. Is it a B? Is it an A? What's happening? And at this stage, X-Astros, I mean, they're just keeping Altitude Zero guessing, but Arkan there. He's going to do well to take down Sergeant Ross. Varolfo with a chime back into Natural, but now they have to deal with Shackles, who takes down two. That shuts down your long aggression completely, and now it's all down to, say, Zinix and Voidclip on site as being a thorn in their side. Down to Zinix, 1v4. Ooh. Shots into Voidclip. He's going to be able to potentially get the bomb down. That is if he doesn't pick too close to the wall there. So, fifth round for Altitude Zero, going into the second last round
Very
of this
well
half.
played. It's like they heard me when I said you got to take that long control. Maybe put two towards long, and they did. Took that long control because X-Astros has been abusing their long, and they put two. They play the one city close and the one in pit, so they don't expect the one in pit because they've been playing one long for the past 3 rounds in a row, and they don't expect Shackles to be in that pit, and gets the toucan. Very well played there by Altitude Zero.
Absolutely, and now look at this Hopper getting an opener onto Arkan. There's a chance here for X-Astros to get their 9th, but they have to deal with Bitten on site. He's the only person on B side to try and stop them. He has to get taken out, and so far he's doing a good job of defending it. Next, he does take quite a few kills away from X-Astros, so puts it down to a 2v3. Altitude Zero now in the advantage to try and take their 6. But this retake has to be flawless. They have to get every single kill and focus on the angles. Varolfo playing quite close and aggressive here. Voidclip coming from tunnels, might be meeting the crosses of Sabery soon. Flashes going through, utility getting put out, but the kills are there for Altitude Zero. So beautiful retake.
Yep. That tunnels player just waiting at the perfect time, not over peaking, and getting that sandwich retake properly on B, done correctly, and very good round there by Altitude Zero, just using their util perfectly and waiting for teammates, not going in one by one and getting picked off by X-Astros.
So 6-8 is our scoreline at this moment in time. It's the last round of the half. Can go either to the way of Altitude Zero or X-Astros. I mean, if we're seeing an 8-7 half once again, this is great.
Yeah.
But as we know, that just sets the groundwork for the second half, which is where you really see the test of a team. At this stage, X-Astros, they've just been taking some control here. 4 players towards Banana, looks like a beat take with 1 player in the form of what I believe is Varolfo, just making some noise, getting some distraction going, but there's the push, but once again on the side, defending it like a champion. He takes down 3, and at this stage, it's down to 2v5. Oh, I don't know how this has happened. Bomb's been dropped, rotations are through, and Altitude Zero just looking good this round. Bitten doing some insane work there with the spray control. Varolfo, with the flank. That's some good control here.
That's what happens when you buy Gully.
That is what happens. And now he has managed to put Shackle down to 3 HP. It's a 2-on-4. Make that a 1-on-4. Leave me, I just won't say anything. But we'll see if Varolfo can do something. He has no choice but to just go for it. It's the last round of the half. Wants to try and get the 9th for his team. It will be a bit of a change up from what we've seen previously, but can he get the openers? You can see Altitude Zero, they have every angle covered on the B-bomb side. You actually have 1 player towards T-spawn. So that might be a potential shot here for Varolfo if he can get the 2 on site. But he's got 3 HP to his name.
3 HP and a dream.
One piece of utility, which is that flashbang, is not going to be meeting anyone. But it is going to be giving away his position. 17 seconds left on the clock. Arkin through the wall, headshot, closing it out. So, once again,
that was a good.
at
Yeah, it
7.
was a good comeback. Yeah, good comeback there by Altitude Zero. It was looking a little bit stressful for them in the beginning of that T side. You know, it was 5-0 at a stage for X Astra, so they did very well to bring it back to an 8-7 half. It's always good to have an 8-7 half under a map like Dust 2 because it's so equal. So, yeah, this is the one. This is where it comes down to. Altitude have to win this in order to take it to a third, or do X Astros close it out now, City side?
If they do, they will literally be sitting on 30 points. Above what is the second sitting on 12. So they're having a fun time. Either way, they're doing so well in terms of just racking up these points. For Altitude Zero, this is their shot to getting out of 5th.
Yep.
So, I mean,
points are good. You want points.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, Varfa, he's got a kit, he's got some utility, Sergeant Ross as well. But for X Astros, how are they going to be holding this? How should they be holding this? I mean, I'm sure Altitude Zero are wrapping their heads around it. Like, we need to win this pistol round.
I don't see any util though. On the side of Altitude Zero. Where's your flash? Where's your smoke?
Oh,
there's your flash. There's your smoke.
Beautifully done.
So they're gonna opt to do a cat or long. What is it? A cat? Yep.
Cat smoke, so maybe a bit of an ace pitch here.
Cat.
Those Glocks can be quite deadly up close and personal, as Zinix has just experienced. He gets taken out of the picture. Rotations immediately happening for X Astros. They're trying to stay in this. The round is vital. Over. Beautiful shot there onto Bitten. Still looking for more. Can't connect it just yet, and unfortunately his teammates are just dropping. Up and now in a 1v2. Looking to try and keep his teammates in this. Ooh, just doesn't spot Arkin. Timing is unfortunately just not
there. He's got his spidey senses though.
As an idea, he's going to be able to spot out Arkin, but he still has to try and figure out where exactly is Shackle sitting. And what is happening? Ooh, kit in hand. Possible chance here. Bomb is planted for short, so Altitude Zero are in the perfect crossfire for the situation. Oh, he swings. He puts a little bit of damage there with the smoke. Tapping the bomb. Oh, Shackles, you have to connect the shot.
He gets it, he gets it. Oh, wow. Well played by Hopper.
Not like this.
So sneaky beaky like.
My goodness.
He does it. Hopper does it. He does the sneaky beaky plays, dude.
And I feel like that's been the concurrent theme for Altitude Zero. You know, X Astros and honestly, just X Astros, they do something crazy.
Yeah,
they do something that they have no business of doing.
Yeah, they're like playing chess, but then they're like 5 moves ahead of Altitude Zero. And Altitude Zero just keep trying to climb back, and they're always on the fight back.
And that might be a bit of a stick in the mud there for Altitude Zero. The mental fortitude is starting to be put into question, but they do well. Takedown 2, but look at the HP, they're just getting hammered. The crossfire is too good here from X Astros.
Yeah, you have the window CT player, and you have the door, both just firing into that middle, and it's just so many angles to kind of take as a T. And yeah, but I mean that was their bonus round. No, I lie. That was their buy. They bought.
Yeah, they forced up into that round with pistols, armor, and
damn.
and utility. So that was quite an expensive round for them.
Yeah, very expensive.
So now
they're going to yeet out.
Pure save going through here with just the exception of the deal in the hands of Shackle. But it's getting taken out of the picture, and unfortunately his teammates are just not in a position to trade him at all. We're down to a 3v5 just with Glocks only. We'll see if they can do anything with them. If they can just get a bit of a bonus at this stage. You know, the bomb plant would be the perfect situation to try and get them immediately back into this, but they have to go down to rifles against Glocks. Yeah, they do quite a bit of damage, especially that double dinking. Oh, Sabery. Need to be careful. He gets caught off guard there, but covers well, and now it's all down to Arkin who's going to get taken out. So, X Astros, they get their 11th round. Altitude Zero,
Yeah.
they've done well with that pure save. They're going to be able to buy up into this round. But what needs to change for them?
They look very lost T-side. They don't have a plan. Like that one round when they just rushed out middle, it was a bit like, it was just a bit YOLO. It didn't feel like it was, executed. You need to decide as a team, if there's a molly, are you going to go through it or are you going to wait and then execute, I just feel like people are looking very lost, unfortunately, Altitude Zero.
Oh, such
You need to
rust.
expect that. You can't just small things like that. Just Altitude making such small, like little mistakes, and it's costing them in a huge way.
Now look at this. I mean, ex-Astros, they have such real estate on this map right now. They have full top and middle control. They've gone through tunnels. They've completely cleared out B, and now they know exactly where Altitude Zero are going. And Altitude Zero are going to be sandwiched. We've got 3 players on A side. You've got 2 coming behind you. This is going to be a tough situation. Even if you get through, you still need to take out every single player here from ex-Astros. Voidclip doing well to try and do that, but it's not going to be enough as ex-Astros take their 12th round. So they're just adapting. They're staying ahead of the game and they're taking some aggression.
I feel like mentally maybe Altitude Zero are worn out, just not expecting that lower tunnels. I mean, you solo B, you have to expect it. You have to expect the lower, the lower tunnels rush. Especially if your teammate isn't watching down middle. As a B player, you have to be so cautious of that mid to B tunnels rush from the CTs. I feel like maybe just the mental game is just they're getting mentally tired. Altitude Zero. Oh, okay. Well, Voidclip's not.
Voidclip's not tired. He's
not tired. He's keen. Let's go.
He's ready and waiting to get those 1 Deags, but now still only deals with one of the rifles recovered. And they need to try and get a round win out of this to just try and get them some extra money, or at least go to the objective, get the bomb down, get some money, especially for the next round. But bomb's still in T-spawn. Haven't yet decided where they want to go to. I think they're still once again just playing for a bit of a pick here. I think we saw this previously in Mirage. Completely split up, bomb left in spawn. It just looks like we're playing for picks, so trying to get a bonus out of this round. So, I mean, they have full loss bonus. They will be able to buy up next round, but potentially they could be setting themselves up for the next 2 rounds. We'll see if they can do that. Oh, unfortunately, Sabery. There we go. 1 tap onto Arkin. He shuts them down. Try and open something up here on the B site. Oh, unfortunately, the timing is not there. He's not expecting the teammate. Shackle does well. Does even better as he takes down 2. So that's an opener. That's a bomb down. That's the objective.
That's objective.
And he's got 7 HP and a rifle. Bomb down. Some timing there. There's his shots. I'll have to wait and see if he can hit the shots at this stage. I mean, it'll be amazing if he can get around here for Altitude Zero. Already he's done so much to get the bomb down. But can he do more? Oh, the dink! 2 HP onto
If you got that double spray down, man.
He had just enough time to get 2 bullets out of the chamber, unfortunately. Just wasn't enough. So, I mean, ex-Astros 13 rounds, 3 away from match points. 2 away from match points and 3 away from the win.
Just ex-Astros is looking very strong, hitting their shots and adapting, pushing areas and getting that information and then rotating accordingly, and just Altitude Zero just play a little bit hesitant and just looking mentally not as strong right now, just making such little mistakes that are costing them.
Oh, those AWPs are dangerous. Sergeant Ross down to 13 HP, but he's still alive. Oh, just around the head, Volfer, because of the Molotov can't spot out.
Can't see,
Sabery, get out of there. Got some damage coming at you quite quickly, bitten in the form.
That was a bit wild.
Of the push there from Altitude Zero, so he takes down the kill. He puts them in a position where they can win this 5-on-3. And an opportunity to take down the A site here. You can see 2 players towards B. They're just waiting and expecting, potentially looking at a save here. No one really in any sort of position to try and contest an A site plant, so if Altitude Zero go for this, they will be having in free A sites, and they should potentially have the 8th round. Utility coming through here. Looks like Altitude Zero are trying to keep ex-Astros guessing there. They've got the bomb towards short. Ooh. Alright, Sergeant Ross there with the 13 HP takes down Shackles. So, 2 players are being kept here on the B bomb side, whereas Altitude Zero are taking that A site plant, but they're still in the Zenix creeping on short. Ooh, just narrowly escaped from Void Clip there, but still, can they do this? Hopper takes him out of the picture completely, but will Zenix be able to deal with this barrage of players on short? Looks like it's going to be a save. They get the double AWP save. So that might be dangerous for the next round.
Yeah,
but
that's going to be very nice.
Altitude Zero are going to be able to get the 8th round. So it's potential here. But the money for X Ashes is still looking good, especially if they can save these 3 guns.
Yeah. I like that round there, but Altitude Zero just changing the pace and going very far up cat that round and catching those cat players off guard and unfortunately for Valkyrie can't see through that molly, unfortunately, and that molly working in National's favor. Yeah.
So that's an opener for Altitude Zero, but now can they continue it? Still 5 rounds that they need to catch up on, especially if they want to tie this out with X Ashes and potentially take the lead. So it's quite a tall order, especially with the WAWP setup in the hands of X Ashes, Sergeant Ross and Varufa. And there we go. Just as I say his name, he gets the kill, opens it up. This time there's no Molotov to stop him, as he puts Natural down to 17 HP, and now Altitude Zero, if I were them, I would be shaking. Bit of a problem here, as they need to try and figure out where they can go from this. Where's the opener? And oh, look at this from X Ashes. They're taking some tunnels control, and Hopper is actually taking the kill away from Void Clip. The potential is now just dwindling for Altitude Zero. They have to go A. They have no other choice, because they're just getting sandwiched. So bomb and T spawn, trying to rotate around safely, well, as safe as possible, but they still need to
look
try
how cautious they
and
have to play.
Yeah.
They got the pick on B, but now look at this play. He's so scared to just
peek around the corner, especially Natural with 17 HP.
They don't know what to do. Yeah.
Oh, the flashes here from X Ashes is making this quite difficult. Natural just on top of the smoke, trying to peek and trying to find something, but it's not going to be enough. Altitude Zero down to 2 players, make that 1, as it's just all on Shackles' shoulder to try and win this out for Altitude Zero. 1v5. Can he stop X Ashes from getting points? Looking at the money right now, Altitude Zero should be okay for the next round. But it is going to be quite a devastating loss there, especially after what they've just done previously.
Yeah, I feel like Altitude Zero, you can see they know they're util, they're throwing util, but they're not doing anything with it. It's said that when you play CS, every bit of util that you throw, there needs to be a reason as to why you're throwing it, and the plan as to what you're going to do with that util that's been thrown. And I feel like they threw that util there towards A and they didn't really do anything with it. There was no plan.
And now, look at this now. From X Ashes, the flashes are there. We were just talking about it. And they're managing to shut down Altitude Zero. That is if Arkan cannot maybe find a second. But also around the smoke is there to back his teammate up. He takes 1 down, and the last 2 remaining on long are quite low indeed. 8 and 12 HP respectively to Arkan and Bitten. It's down to a 3v2. Quite doable for either side, but they have to be careful about where they're looking. Shackles here in the middle, trying to flank around, trying to potentially catch them off guard, but Sergeant Ross is reading the situation.
Yeah, and he gets oh my goodness.
Oh, through the smoke,
that's bomb! He
finds the bomb, 1 minute left on the clock, and just around the corner is Bitten, but he doesn't have the HP to contest it. And that's match point for X Ashes. And what else is there for Altitude Zero? This is their last-ditch effort.
Yeah, and how's their money looking? I mean, they have enough money, but I just feel... Yeah, just X Ashes, like I said, their util's just perfect. Their flashes are hitting. Their support flashes are there when teammates are fighting. People are blind as soon as they take the fight, and... I feel like Altitude Zero just lacking in that department.
Unfortunately, They're going to have to do a lot if they want to catch up this time around. They've got to catch up 7 rounds.
It's going to
That
be
is
a
quite
hard
a tall
climb,
order.
Yeah.
So far, they've been good for 1. Will they be able to string 7 in a row to stop X-Astros from getting what feels like their bajillionth win? But we'll just say the 12th win for now.
Yeah.
At the moment, there hasn't been any sort of damage done on either side. Not a single player dropped, and not a single piece of information given away.
Yeah, they're playing so passive, because they're so
Yeah.
scared of the bushes, so now they're playing so passive.
There's safety in numbers, perhaps, for Altitude Zero. It's only Hopper at the moment that's left on the site. He's blinded. He's playing around this box, and Bitten is finally going to be able to spot him out. So, that's the bomb dropped once again. Sergeant Ross is looking for more. Confidence brimming for X-Astros as they're looking to take their 16th, but Shackles with the recovery takes him out of the picture. So we're down to a 4v3 in favor of Altitude Zero. They have the bomb plant. They just need to keep themselves in this. Varolfa and Zinix, the last 2 remaining members of X-Astros. And I mean, with the HP there on Varolfa, I definitely agree with this.
Yeah,
Save it up.
Save. Yeah.
Wait out for the next round, but now this is a chance once again for Altitude Zero. I mean, we have a bit of a money situation on X-Astros. That being said, Sergeant Ross and Hopper, I mean, 6k and 8k respectively. After this round, they should be looking a lot better. So X-Astros might still be able to buy up into this round, but at least there's something for Altitude Zero to work with.
Yeah, I like that round. They just held the default, and then they went dark, and they just all executed onto that B, and it was clinical. It was a clinical execute, with those flashes, those CTs being blind, and well played by them. That's what Altitude needs to do. Altitude Zero needs to do more of, is just execute and make sure that util lands, because you can't give an opening to X-Astros when the CTs aren't blind, because they're going to get those 3Ks when they're hitting the shots.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
X-Astros. I mean, I was talking about confidence brimming, and look at this from Hopper all the way up middle. And
Hopper wants to go to bed.
Hopper's tired. He's done. He wants his win. He wants to go home and sleep. At this stage now, X-Astros, they're looking good to take it 5v2. Just natural and Archon that they still need to deal with. Look at this positioning from Hopper. He literally has the bomb in his position. Yeah. He's all the way up middle onto car. His teammates are rotating around.
Person. Doesn't expect Archon here. Does he? Oh, he does.
Sergeant Ross will be there to help him out though. So all down to natural. He's going to be able to do some damage onto Sergeant Ross. Running into what could be the crosshairs there of Zinix, I believe. Of Varolfa, actually. As he's sitting in CT. So, takes down the 1. Has to swing for the 2nd. And it's just way too much to deal with. So, X-Astros, I just feel like they're just continuing the rampage at this stage.
Yeah, they just kept changing it up. And you could see Altitude Zero not even expecting Hopper to run up middle like that. And he gets the perfect position and he gets the kill. And they're just playing very well right now. X-Astros just changing it up and always adapting to situations and not becoming stagnant. I like they keep changing pace and they play discipline and then they change up the pace. And it's just really good CS to watch right now.
Absolutely. And X-Astros, I mean, they've been coming back week after week after week, and they've been earning themselves not just points, but I mean, they've been getting a lot of wins in addition to that. They've just been running after it. And at this stage, you just have to wonder, for anyone else that's looking to get that potential promotion match into Mzansi, they might have to opt to go for 2nd at this stage, because X-Astros is just leading the pack. They're just getting the points. They're coming back week after week to get even more points. So beautifully done either way by Altitude Zero. I mean, there were some incredible rounds there, especially with the Deagles. That were extremely shocking. So, I mean, they definitely have that opportunity, but I agree with you. It's small mistakes. It's that one thing that X-Astros would have done that would have just completely shut them down mentally. And then it looked like they needed more and more rounds to try and recover that, and it just wasn't enough towards the end because they were at the edge of either economy, at the edge of the round win, at the edge.
Altitude Zero just kept fighting. They're always on the back foot. They always had to keep fighting. Where X-Astros just kept that lead. They kept that composure and just carried it on. So just very well played by them. Looking really solid.
And at the moment, would you say that it was the choice of the maps potentially? We had Dust, we had Mirage, we had Inferno. Either way, I mean, I think X Ashes had been planning on both, especially that Mirage. They were looking at absolutely dominant.
I mean, you could see that Altitude Zero did the homework on Mirage. They did have those CT retakes, taking that control back, and they did have a good T side. But I just feel like when it becomes later in the round, and they've done everything that they know, they look a little bit lost. They kind of mentally shut down. They don't know what to do because X Ashes feel like they have a little bit more strats in their strat book and a little bit more adaptability in a sense. They look a little bit lost. They get a little bit stagnant and they don't know what to do. So maybe just go home, do more work and try get more strats on your maps and but other than that, it's looking good. It's just got to keep mentally strong. Unfortunately, these games come down to BMT, and X Ashes just have the better BMT right now.
Absolutely, and I mean, at this stage, you should also think about potentially playing a little bit more aggressive, getting some more information. Don't give them that much respect that you just sit there the whole round. But as we can see, I mean, X Ashes, they well deserved of this win.
Yeah.
Look at that, 10 wins. I mean, I think I was on 12, but that's the games played. But the wins, not that far off. My goodness. So, as I said, at this stage, for the rest of the teams looking to get that promotion game, maybe just aim for second place because X Ashes clearly have been putting the time in. They've been coming back week after week, and week after week they've been winning that 1,000.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you have teams like Royalty and XD Gaming in this pool. So, I mean, guys, if you're there, you have 2 weeks left to try get into the Mzansi. So, I'd like to see more of Royalty and XD Gaming because, they are like some of the top teams in SA at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, they need to just keep coming back because that's the only way that they get into this, right? I mean, ultimately, as we mentioned, just after one night of this, semi-final and grand final, that's already 6 points that you can just grab.
Exactly, yeah.
Not even considering anything else. So sorry about that for those of you who just saw the leaderboard. Apparently there was just a bit of a swap out. So we'll go back to that in a minute. But yeah, just for the rest of them, they need to keep coming back. As you mentioned, you're playing for a promotion game in Mzansi. You need to get the points. And that's what X Ashes have done, which is why they are where they are. So yeah, call out the teams. XD, I mean, you've got teams like
XD Royalty,
which we've just seen tonight. We need to see more of them. Only 2 games played.
Come on, guys.
Altitude Zero also so close. I mean, if they come back for the next week, the week thereafter, they're going to get so much closer. They're literally on the precipice of getting into that second position.
And then you play for the big prize pool.
The big prize pool of a combined prize pool of 1 million.
Exactly. That's the one that's worth playing for, You want to play for the big moolah.
On TV, playing for that big prize pool against some of the best teams in well, technically in Africa, but specifically also in South Africa. So they need to just keep coming back. And I mean, at this stage, you can see that there is obviously a potential for growth. As we've seen, we've watched X Ashes' journey over the last couple of weeks. They've grown tremendously. And that has part to play with playing in tournaments like this. I mean, we have so many available. You need to contribute. You need to
you can definitely see they're doing their homework as well as, they're always changing things up and it's great to see, and I'm excited to see how they actually would do in the Mzansi. I think they could give some teams a run for their money.
Well, speaking of Mzansi, we're going to have to wait till tomorrow for us, for Inkosi. That's going to be all for tonight, Chaz. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Anything else to say before we head off?
Nah, just keep grinding, guys. It's looking good.
Keep grinding, keep coming back, and thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week with week 7 of the Inkosi Super Cup.